Welcome along to our Gold Coast audience. If you're listening up there in New South Wales, Victoria, West Australia, South Australia, around the planet, really, wherever you're listening, we're stoked you're on board, and hopefully you're getting through what is a pretty tough time for a lot of people at the moment. We are not far away from Gold Coast taking on the Bombers. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Football. The two-man has wandered in, as he does in his 20th season, his testimonial year. He's primed and ready to fire. Good afternoon to you, Chulenko.
Yeah, good afternoon, Howie. For Triple M Red Z, as we know, this game is being played at GMHBA Stadium. Suns have played there on 7 occasions and have never won, of course, all of those matches against the Cats. In fact, their average losing margin at their venue is 72 points. And the Bombers, they haven't won there since 1990, but of course, all those games against Geelong. But just for the Bombers, there's a couple of positives here. Andy McGrath, he plays his first game since round 12. And for the first 12 rounds of the season, he was second in contested ball and clearances at the Bombers and first for tackles. And centre clearances, that's where Essendon have been strong all year. They're fifth for centre clearance differential, but number one for scores from centre clearances. Last week against the Bulldogs, they kicked 6 goals, 3 from 18 centre clearances
Jakey
generated.
Stringer, pivotal in there.
Love it, you man. Ross, we'll get to you in a moment. Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3, get 1 free, instant cash back on Bridgestone, Continental, Pirelli and many more. BobJane.com.au. Mickey Roberts, the number one man on the boundary in football. Afternoon to you, Robbo. You got everything sorted? Got your team sheets? You ready to roll?
Well, I'm flying solo. I am the only person in this stadium as the Gold Coast are just running out on the ground now. And I was looking around the box and I couldn't find team sheets or anything, so I thought, where do I go? So I went to Channel 7 and BT, I've knocked over his manila folder with all his team lists. He's got everything here, and they're mine now. So BT crossed off MR and I've got his whole list. So can you imagine what he is going through at the moment upstairs? His head will fall off his shoulders. Anyway, I'll get to him at half time.
All right.
Pretty difficult conditions down here, Howie. I reckon it's a 2-goal breeze going down to the players' stand towards Bells Beach. So it's a big northerly going through. Sunshine, but the lights are on. That's weird. But as we know, Heppel's back and McGrath, as Ash just said, back playing after that knee injury. Tipper's the other one. He's out. And Nick Cox, who's a young body, it's been pretty taxing for him. He misses out. And for the Gold Coast, Brandon Ellis out with a hamstring. So experience there gone for the Gold Coast. The med subs are Atkins for the Gold Coast and Gleeson for Essendon. And I'm going for the Bombers. They just got to keep surviving, Howie, so they just got to keep winning.
Love it, Robbo. As you say, a bit of a northwester blowing across the whole show. Couple of foot down the coast, so pumping down there. Robbo might get out there and get barreled after the game. All right, we've got Ross Lyon, we've got Wayne Carey, who are very enthused about this game, Rossi.
Well, I love watching the Bombers play. We've seen them a lot this year. Witness their growth and their attacking and their aggression. Chu spoke about the centre square bounces. Stringer pivotal in there, and you got Parrish that's exploded onto the scene really in merit. So, you know, they've got a sniff of the final, so it should be the momentum. Hopefully they don't tighten up, they keep playing their game. But, you know, they play chaos, yardage, attack, listeners. But you've got the Gold Coast who like to control the ball. I love what they did at Marvel the other week. I think it was against Carlton from memory. So can they not put the cue on the rack? We've seen a couple of teams down the bottom really get smacked, Collingwood and Carlton last night. So let's hope Gold Coast keep trying to improve. They can't waste this opportunity to test themselves and grow.
I think everything about the Bombers is exciting. And I know they might not play finals this year. I know statistically they still can, but they might not. They win today, two-man. I know you would have said before they give themselves that chance of playing finals footy, still relying on teams winning and losing, et cetera. But, I mean, every week that we've come to watch them, whether it be live or here in the studio, you know what, you come excited because they've got some excited youngsters. 2 metre Peter last week, 7 straight. What he's done up against his old club today, he's got a point to prove today, Howie, because I reckon his whole year's been pretty good. He's a massive pass for mine. And last week it all came to the absolute pinnacle. Best game he's played in AFL footy, full stop.
I love what you said then, Wayne. Like, he built, didn't he? We saw games. Might have been the Anzac Day or whatever. He built and he built and he built. And then he had the special one. Yeah,
his hands, I think, in games have been really good. He's marked the ball better than what he did last week, but he's kicking outside 50 to big bombs. But then on the flip side, you look at the Gold Coast, their best has been really exciting too. They actually play a pretty good brand of footy when they get moving. I will say, and I want to keep an eye on young Rowell today. We know that he hit the AFL
He took it apart.
He took it apart by storm, and 3 Brownlow votes in 3 games in a row and all that sort of stuff. He's had his injuries. He's just building himself back in, Howie. Took Miller is definitely going to be an All-Australian this year, no doubt in my mind. But I just want to keep an eye on Rowell. Want to see. I almost thought last week should they rest him for these last.
He needs a summer. Posterior's a young kid. He just hasn't got that power because he's not a finesse player, is he? He's not silky skilled, but he's a work rate.
Yeah, inside ball.
Agility. He's lost a little bit of it, but I've got no doubt with the summer he'll be back in a catalyst for the Gold Coast Suns.
Now, what I didn't realise, I thought this game started at 10 past, but we've still got a nice 10 minutes to really build this one up, pump it up, which is exciting. So we'll delve into this one a little bit more statistically with Chewy. But Chewy, I think, Nate, our man Chewy, and he runs a very successful business where he sells tool belts and refrigeration. I've noticed the last couple of...
He moves a bit of weight as well.
Yeah, he does. I've noticed the last couple of shows he's come in with footballs, and he's getting the likes of Carey and Lyon and yourself to sign them. I feel he's making money on the side in an illegal trade in signed footballs.
Absolutely. So any man that runs 2 phones like Ash Chua does, you've got to worry about. And now he's bringing these footballs in, and we've all known somebody who does this memorabilia stuff. They come in, and they're not always the most straight down the line characters either, Howard. I remember there was a guy that used to come over to the Richo's house many, many years ago, and he used to bring over these photos of me and Richo hugging after a game, and he'd frame them himself, and down the bottom it said Batman and Robin. He'd bring it like 100 of them. We'd sign 100, and
who were you?
I was Robin. We used to get a payment, and it used to be once. I don't know what he did with it, Howard, but obviously he made money out of them as well.
What I find funny about this footy, I've got it in front of me, and I'm just reading some of the big names. You've Ross has signed it, and the great Jason Dunstall, and you've got Darcy signed it, Brownie signed it. You know, there's some massive names, and then I'll just sort of flip over there, and then there's Damo.
What's your target market, Stu? Are you selling it?
What are you doing? What are you doing, Stu? What are you doing?
I tapped into my superannuation balance the other day, and it's not tracking as well as I've only got about 15 years left in the workforce. So.
You know how we put our number, you know, under it, and you would have put. I don't know whether you put both your numbers.
I put 7.
Yeah, well, I put 18. I'd have put number 2, but Damo's put Walkie Award or whatever that is.
Yeah. And you know what? When I handed over to Damo to sign it, just snatched it out of my hands. Super eager.
So, Stu-Man, what does it go for on the online system you're using?
It's work related.
Yeah, but that's what you tell us. But if you're selling a Triple M signed, a brand new Sharon, what are you generally selling them for these days?
I reckon they go for about $350.
Right.
Yeah, that's a starting point.
And what does the Sharon cost you?
That's the key point.
$325.
That's it. What's the Sharon cost?
You get them wholesale for about 70.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
So you make $250 a ball. That's not bad. That's not bad.
Good margin.
When you have the pleasure of walking to the test matches, Duck, with some of the luminaries that have played for Australia, there is always a selection of autograph hunters out the front. So they'll ask Warney to sign the card, or they'll ask Gilly to sign the card. Your man, Mark Waugh, he can be reluctant at times because he feels that he has signed a certain photograph, like you're talking about, 28 different times, and he'll literally say to the bloke, when are you going to put this on eBay? And sometimes he's a little bit reluctant to sign.
It is quite amazing. He can walk through an airport and, Snowy just bobs up and he's got 8 of your cards. You go, what?
Well, in Perth, because we flew every second week, it'd be the same dude as you went through the terminal with... It's like, mate, you're here again. It was a business.
Exactly.
Extraordinary. Talking about cricket, great news, Stu-Man, that Triple M cricket is coming back. You announced on Friday night, which I found extraordinary, that Stu-Man announced, with nothing being released in the media, that he had signed to do the cricket. He was the first man signed.
And then he told us potentially.
And then he went potentially. So is it done, Chewy? Are you back on Triple M cricket?
Well, subject to the meeting with the powers to be, Howie.
Okay.
So as soon as the footy season finishes, we'll have a meeting.
Do you know your stats in cricket like you do footy?
Well, speak to Howie.
Does he?
No.
I was thrown in the deep end of the first test series. Here's a laptop, Chew. Good luck. Here are the keys. Go for it.
It was. I knew when we were in a little bit of trouble when the opening ball of the test series was all ready to go and David Warner walks out alongside, at that stage, Joe Burns. And our man Chew said, Is Warner the left-hander or the right?
Oh, come on, I didn't see
we could, but he did a great job. He did a fantastic job, and you don't really need to know about cricket a great deal to be involved in that coverage, Chewy. So we are looking forward to that over the summer. Do we think the English are coming, Brownie? There's a lot of talk about their families, and that would. Do you think this is political machinations, or do you think there's serious concerns about the Ashes tour going ahead?
There would be serious concerns at the moment because the world is in a precarious position, and those players would want their families there, and the Australian government is saying maybe not if we're still in the position we're in. So the English are already not bringing out. There's a few not. Joffrey Archer's not coming out. Potentially Stokes may not be coming out. So it does worry whether it's going to go ahead or not.
As an Australian sports fan, Duck, we won an Ashes quite recently, 5-0. Does it worry you who comes out, or do you just want to see Australia win when the Ashes are on?
No, it worries me who comes
out. It worries. So you're
concerned
concerned about the strength. You want to see a good battle rather than a belting.
100%. If those two in particular that Brownie just mentioned, if they don't come out...
Well, Joffrey Archer's not coming out because he's had a elbow operation.
Well, that's different. But Stokes is pretty important.
My word, he is.
Yeah.
My word, he is. You a cricket man, Rossi?
I used to be, Howie, but I've sort of waned on that front.
Have you?
As there come so many versions of the game. I used to love Test cricket. Just the mental disintegration and that there's like a war of attrition, wasn't it? The mental toughness of cricketers and batsmen.
I must admit, I love, depending on which country, I'm really looking forward to the Ashes. I can't wait. But as long as those players, the best players get out here.
Well,
Can you imagine the mental toughness and the courage you got to have to be a batsman, right? And you've got a guy 20 yards away, Shoaib Akhtar or even Joffrey Archer coming down at 150 clicks that comes up at any point could hit you in the head. You've got a split second and you've still got to be out there to make the right decision, not only to get the runs for your team, but also to survive and not let the ball hit you on the body. That's extraordinary.
I was at it might have been the centenary test, was it?
Rick McCosker, broken jaw.
And then come back out, didn't he?
Oh, bandaged up like a mummy.
Yeah.
Were you there, Rossi?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
I think a jockey on a 500 kilo animal too that's got a mind of its own.
Or a MotoGP rider.
Or a MotoGP.
Right,
there's a lot of sports brands.
But Ross,
I don't think cricket's up there with the most courageous.
Well, I will say to you, if you've just drifted off from the game, tune in to Triple M Cricket. I think it'll give you a love. And have a look at Fox Cricket as well.
Okay.
I think
I'll let you just face up to Alan Donald or someone like that.
Put it this way, I'd rather face Alan Donald than Mike Tyson. Let's put it that way.
You'd probably think you could beat Mike Tyson, though, couldn't you?
You get my point, Brownie.
I do get your point.
Cricket's
it's
not up there with the
It's
the
not a
most
correct
courageous.
point, though.
Do you think?
I think batsmen are very courageous.
No, Howie, to answer your question.
Do you think you'd have more chance of rolling Tyson or knocking Donald over backward square for 6?
Well, if I just threw the bat at it, it's a chance that the ball flies over. Exactly.
All right, we need to start talking about the football at some stage. I did peek a little bit early on the preview. Two-man, you gave us the stats. Robbo, Bob James style, get us out of a hole. What can you tell us down there? You always love a bit of a chat before the game.
Well, Heppel and Swallow have just gone to the middle, and they're just tossing the coin. So timing's everything, Howie.
Yep.
And the Bombers have won it, and that's significant because he's going to the players' end, Bell's Beach end, and that, as I said, 2-goal advantage, even 3 goals on 3 goals on gusts. It is gusting, so it's going to be really testing for the players. I noticed that Gold Coast have actually done a lot of shots for goal up the other end, the city end, and it's drifting. So if you're going for goal on the members' side, you're going to have to go inside that left post. So it's going to be really tricky. Sunshine out. Warm day, lights are on, and a tricky win. So the Bombers going to the players' end.
Thank you, Robbo. And the Bombers won the last 5, but there has been a draw. So they won the last 4, and then there was a draw last time they met Chewy, in fact.
Yeah, spot on. And just with the Bombers, how in regards to the ladder, so if they win today, there's 2 scenarios. They'll be inside the 8 if Freo defeat the Eagles, or they'll be 9th, 2 points outside the 8 behind GWS. That's if West Coast defeat Fremantle.
I think Nathan's got something funny to say here.
You can add another one to the duck file. The fact that he thinks he can hit Alan Donald for 6 and that he is the most courageous person that's ever walked the earth.
And the best bylighter.
I said I'd rather face Donald.
Did you play much cricket as a youngster?
But we weren't even talking about Mike Tyson. We were talking about cricket.
Someone brought it up, stupid. I might have. I was a very good fielder. Very good.
Very good.
This is a bloke that took a night off from the Pfizer vaccine, by the way.
Yeah. But he's all jabbed up now and he's good to go. All right, we're set to go here. It is Gold Coast taking on
more ways
Essendon.
than one.
We'll bring you this Right, as always on the M's with a bit of spirit. And here's the main man on a Sunday, Nathan Noodles Brown, to get things rolling.
Not a bad bounce in the middle. Draper, double-handed tap. Took Miller, been outstanding. Fumbled the first one, though. Went back, got it. Ball comes out. Anderson, smothered off the boot, goes wide. Towards the commentary side, the bouncing ball pivots, then bounces back and gives Guelphy an opportunity, but he gets it out of bounds and have a boundary throw-in.
That man, Tuke Miller, is he having a year and a half?
Yeah, All-Australian, Howie. No question.
Everyone talks about his work rate, isn't it? The ground he covers is incredible.
What did he get done for, Nate, that he's ineligible on your Brownlow tracker?
Not sure, Howard, but he's coming second in my Brownlow tracker.
But ineligible due to suspension. Jim Mann will tell us why.
Doesn't mean you can't punt on him.
Parrish, looping hand pass into the middle. Now a little slider forward is good from Hine. Look towards Francis. The very, very nice Charlie Ballard picks it off half-back. Parrish comes again. Now there's an opportunity for Dylan Clark. He's immediately run down. He probably got one in the back and he'll get a free kick.
That's holding the ball.
Hold the ball, in fact. Good on you, Ducky boy. And the free kick goes the way of Darcy McPherson.
They move the ball quickly towards centre wing, but Laverde, as he's done many times this year since moving back, having a career-best year, edges King under the ball and takes a good contested mark and then thumps it down towards half forward. Ill-directed, though. It's wide. And I think you see the ball go out of bounds on the full more at this ground in Geelong than any other ground in the history of the game.
Especially on the outer side. Triple M Red Z Lending stats at Red Z Lending Loans for the self-employed. Chewy?
Yeah, Tuke Miller, he was suspended for one game, as you touched on earlier. There was engaging in rough conduct on Nick Caulfield of the Saints.
Jeez, that's a harsh penalty if he's right up there. Come at Brownlow night. Ball goes across the line.
He's had 30 plus, a heap of
14 games in a row, Duck.
15 out of the 19.
Yeah, spot on, Duck, for Red Z.
Or 14 in a row.
Choice Hotels around the grounds. Chewy, looks like it's half time at that particular game.
It is. It's the Demons leading the Crows by 21 points.
Where's that being played, Chew?
It's at the MCG.
Okay, McPherson tried to get a slick hands to Smith. He couldn't gather it. Hine will. They put the afterburners on. He just shrugs the tackle. So Essendon building across half forward. Little step and a duck and a dive. Chain of hand pass. High ball inside 50. Where's the big boy? 2 metre Peter got his hands to it. He'll come again after his big bag of 7 last week. Look forward to seeing if he can front up again. Miller. High ball trying to clear the defensive zone. Breeze gets hold of it now and Heppel marks within range, it must be said. He's probably 50 out. Now he hands it off. Long ball all the way to the goal square for the Bombers. It's the opening goal of the match, and it is that man, Jake Stringer. The Bombers won straight. The Gold Coast yet to get rolling. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting Sparkies. 7:30am opening hours. Trade prices, click and collect, and free delivery from over 100 Beacon Lighting stores. That's a big bomb.
Well, ripping goal from Stringer, but some great signs for the early. Draper dominated the first hit, then quick for Parrish has had it, Merritt's had it, Hines is running. So all of a sudden Stringer, and then 2 metre Peters launched. So straight away in the coach box saying, well, geez, all our key movers are getting into this game and we're controlling it in our front half.
He's another player that's had a really good year, Jake Stringer. We've spoken about him a lot because we've done a lot of Bombers games, but just a really nice finish and really well summed up by the skipper Heppel. Looking at the Harvey Norman, just a little wrap around. And got the distance easy.
And selfless from Heppel, wasn't it? Like submitted to the team's needs.
Young Sharp got a bit lost. 5 times Jake Stringer has kicked the first goal of the game this year. Back in the middle for McDonald's Rim Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Took Miller. Gets another touch to half forward. Ball goes going back. Was Hine. Did a really good job. 1 by 2 and then 3. And marked like a juggling act. And the angry young man gets up and he gives the umpire a piece of his mind, even though he gave him the mark. Looks like a really angry sort of unit, Nick Hine. I like the way he goes about it. From half-back, chips the ball towards the wing. Ball hits the ground level, but free picked out. Free kick's going to go to Powell.
An exciting young players, Will Powell, game number 56. Athletic customer. The Gold Coast playing Bombers in front of no one in Geelong. It's a weird old world in which we live. He wobbles it forward, works out to Swallow. Gold Coast kicking into the breeze, as Robbo told us. They look to the pocket. Here come King. Oh, it's a little bit loose, that big fist he got out there, Benny King. And the free kick will go the way of the Bombers, and it looks like Ridley is going to take it.
Very strong breeze, Howie. Like Swallow, the ball just dropped to him, dropped short, and so players need to play in front going into the wind.
Bob Jane T-Marts, the Bombers kicking with the breeze, Robbo, yeah?
They are, and I reckon it's a couple of goals there, Howie, for sure. You can see Stringer, I don't reckon Stringer hit that really well, and he got the distance, no worries, as Duck said. On Gus, it could even be 3 goals advantage.
It's Macca's 50th birthday, so try one of their classic double burgers today. Had one of them today, Duck, didn't we?
It was delicious. It's double as good as it normally is.
So, Ash, did you end up getting a McDonald's card from Snorkel?
Well, that's will be discussed further. I did brownie. I had my name on it as well for Red Z.
Took a long time to get to you. There's something that had your name on it. Trying to step through. The action was Durham. The handball went wild. Heppel looks fit. Does he look fit because he had the haircut and the hair short, or has he always looked that fit?
I think it's the haircut and the taped up wrists I always think makes you look a bit fitter as well.
It's a boundary throw on the outer side.
So early stages, Stringer with the opening goal. And that is what Essendon lead by. And a very breezy day. Zach Smith, it's blowing around in his hair. Draper. And cult figure already, this man. Some feel he could become a dominant player in the competition. The Suns bang it forward. The Bombers claim the mark through Stewart. That was ambitious because it bounced off a Sun's head. His hat kick forward works out to Parrish. Defensive side of the square. Very breezy conditions down in Geelong. Coolish afternoon. Sun shining though. Springs on the way. Down towards right. He's caught behind. Does well though to make a contest. Whips it back only as far as Powell. He looks for the safety of the boundary line and finds it out of side.
I'm not sure what the wind's doing, but like the far side of the ground looks like the ball's going to be stuck there all day at this rate. I'm not sure what Robbo can tell us, whether it's straight up and down or across.
So a boundary throw in. The Bombers half forward line. The first goal through Stringer. Smith tried to work his way to the front, but Draper wasn't allowed that. Got the ball to ground level, but the Suns took it away. Bouncing ball towards half forward. Wasn't a great ball. Laverde did really nicely. Handball was wide, looking for Stewart. Stewart picked it up on the bounce, turns around. That's not a good kick. Gives it straight back to Lukosius. Opportunity. Players out everywhere. Needs to make the right decision, and does. The kick wasn't quite right, though. And it was at the feet of King, who had to dive, and the ball goes out of bounds.
He had a really good look at it, Lukosius, didn't he? And in the end, it was
had a good opportunity in the corridor that he didn't take. Yeah.
Ross Lyon, Wayne Carey, Triple M Seabus Super Special Comments, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus for all of us there. Your Richie Beno, Bill Laurie style operation. Elite on a Sunday afternoon. Now Powell steps through a bit of traffic. Swallow, he's been in it early. His hacking kick forward only goes as far as Hind, who's had a bit of a chew on the Reds' edge.
Disposal number 5.
He puts it out in front of Durham. Hand passes further on to Tommy Cutler, the former Lion. And again, it's tight on the line. And that's where it goes in the hands of Alec Waterman.
So early stages, the Bombers by a goal. Big breeze to the outer side. Wreaking havoc with the kicks at the moment. We'll have a boundary throw in on that side. There's the Harvey Norman replay screen. I selected laundry package at Harvey Norman and get a bonus gift card. Ball at half forward. Well done. Coming out nicely was Perkins, who got it on the 50, ran to 40, and Perkins nails the goal. 2 to the Bombers early, and they're using that breeze nicely. 2 straight 12. The Suns yet to score. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
He's a part of that threesome that we've spoken about all year, and I reckon every single one of them, and I'm obviously talking about Jones and Cox, every single one have had their little patch. I reckon he's been his little patch of recent times, Perkins. He's the one right now travelling a little bit better than the other two. That's a really nice finish.
And he just said, when you ask about him, they say he's got the power of Stringer, and I couldn't quite see it, but you just see here, he just explodes for 3 and balances himself up. Just steps 1, 2, 3 from 45. Just really good composure. So, but if he can grow into a powerful package like Stringer, you can see and Cox and, as you said, Jones. It is an exciting future for them.
After this game, Chewy?
After this game, Howie, Freo taking on the Eagles. That's at 5:10 at the stadium.
Looking forward to that.
Derby 53, that one, good boy.
Yeah.
And Choice Hotels round the grounds, half-time between Melbourne and the Adelaide Crows.
It is Demons by 21 points over Adelaide.
We will take you to that game in Western Australia directly after we finish here. Miller, hassled off the footy, gets it across to Smith. And he got one in the back. What's he up to already? It took Miller.
Disposal number 5, along with 2 clearances.
So he started the game as his season has been. That's a nice grab from Ben King. We saw his brother light up the first term yesterday. That was Max. Inside 50, ball. Sets a bit of a task to the Gold Coast Suns forward. And in the end, the ball from Sharp is a little bit too long and it goes across the line. And the score of the Bombers are 2 straight. Gold Coast yet to score.
Well, Gold Coast's last 2 entries have been wide into the pocket. Now, it's a skinny ground anyway. You need to funnel it in to the top of the square. And such a windy day, put some goal-face pressure on the Essendon defence, because they can be scored against the Bombers.
They're in their attack. Stepping through with Sexton. You won't have to ask him twice to have a shot. He does. It fell short. Merritt, handball, Shield, slips over, under pressure, and the ball rolls out of bounds with a boundary throw-in.
Your man, Joel Jeffrey, in Game 3, Nate, is rocking some rude hair. Just seeing it on the Harvey Norman. Describe that for me, Nate.
Well, it's very, very short everywhere except the long mane at the back, which is in the middle, and he looks like he'd have a good time.
He does. My word, he does. Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Buy a selected laundry package of Harvey Norman, get a bonus gift card. Looks like a lion just prowling around the Serengeti.
And we spoke about Rao pre-game. That's the first time we've sort of seen him on the screen. He hasn't been able to impose himself as yet.
It's like he's standing beside Merritt at that particular stoppage. Busted off the footy with Braden Fiorini. Comes again, Fiorini. Now an opportunity for Sexton. A lot of players around the footy at the moment. Darcy McPherson now. This is all taking place half forward for the Suns. Ball going nowhere.
You're right, Howie, but that's a trait of the ground. It's so narrow. That congestion tends to form around stoppages if we don't clear it out.
Yeah.
Ball elevated into the air by the umpire on the 50. The Suns end. Here's that man, Rao. Quick hands. It was Sharp. It got it out to Sharp, but Stringer knocked it down. Miller tackled him, brings him to the ground, and the umpire ball it up. Centre half forward for the Suns. It's a very early stages, first quarter. The Bombers got 2 on the board. Stringer and also Perkins have got those. Kick out of the congestion. Handball come to Stringer, went with the barrel. It's a high ball. There's a one-on-one inside forward 50. The ball bounced away from Waterman. Opportunity now getting back. Big 2-metre Peter came in, used his body, then went back in and tried to get it again. But the Suns with the numbers eventually, and they get it out to Lemons.
Lemons with a little squeezer, works out to Sexton. He spills the mark. Here's trouble for the Gold Coast Suns. Perkins is in the area, so's Hams. Miller. They take a while to get rid of it. Eventually it's a big bomb out of defence by the Suns. Looked like it was Collins that delivered that big ball. Essendon will come in again, though, through Stewart. Right to the top of the goals. Francis, one hand, back to Collins. Having a very nice year. Now it's up to Jai Farrer to squeeze one out of defence. Hasn't done a very good job. He's kicked it straight at the Bombers. And that's Dylan Clark. Ross shaking his head. Clark. Well, he's kicked it straight to 2 Gold Coast Suns. They raffle it straight to Collins. That's not elite football, Rossi.
No, well, it was a banana, a right foot banana into the corridor, the young Suns player, but long and wide Sun under pressure. Probably better decision.
Sharp at half back. His kick was very good to McPherson. Another short one again at the feet of King. Has to step around. Then sold some candy. Really nice on Laverde. Went to half forward. Fisted away. Well done by Cutler. And the ball gets out of bounds just in front of Joel Jeffrey.
There was an obvious 50 running through the protected area there, like literally ran within half a metre. But their kicking efficiency right down at the moment, the Suns.
35%, Duck.
Macca's 50th birthday. Try one of the classic double burgers today. McDonald's Marine Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy. Jason Dunstall's birthday yesterday. G'day. And happy birthday to the Big Chief. He was very keen to celebrate it on the television. Jeremy Sharp. Long ball forward. Gets good carry. Fisted through.
How old, Howie?
I think he was 57.
Yeah, right.
And never been dating more at the moment. He's got a date every week.
Like flaring the nostril.
Yes, he's just going well, the Chief. Great addition back at Triple M.
Not allowed to be, are you? Meant to only have one bubble person.
No, well, prior to all this kicking in, he was swiping right. There was smoke coming off his phone the last time I saw him, Nate. We better stop talking about this in case it's replayed to him at some stage and he'll put us in one of those headlocks and that'll be the end of us, Nate.
So the boundary throw-in on the commentary side has almost come back and hit the umpire. That's how strong the breeze is, or the umpire has in his wheat picks this morning and the ball goes out of bounds. So he's got 2 throw-ins in the space of 10 seconds. Let's see how it goes on this one. 2 straight 12, the Bombers. 1 behind Gold Coast. 11-point lead to the Bombers. Beacon Trade scoreboard. Centre wing. Boundary throw-in. That's a better one. Peter Wright got it down. McGrath, good to see him back. High ball, centre half forward. Perkins fisted the ball down to ground level. Cutler was in there. Durham as well. Perkins went back, got the ball to Parrish. Parrish was tackled to the ground. Lukosius, that's holding the ball. The Bombers' pressure's good at the moment. Free kick's going to go to Devon Smith.
Smith progresses the ball quickly. Long lead to the outer side. Didn't quite get it as far as Waterman. He steps around Collins pretty easily in the end. Centering ball straight to the Suns, who streak back and they make sure numbers there through Rao. Pinpoints the ball to the back flank. It's going all right at the moment, the Gold Coast. Just getting their hands on the footy. McPherson. Oh, backing across is real risky. Francis wanders in. I should have kicked the goal. He fell over. 3 Suns ate him up, which was good that he didn't kick it in the end, Nate, because I'd butchered the commentary. So he got out of jail.
It was disappointing by Francie. The Suns now. Short ball. Fiorini. Been really good since coming back in. Had his injury concerns the last 18 months. This man Lukosius can kick the footy to centre half forward. Falling over was a couple of players. Trying to get the ball in the end was Corbett. Got it out to that man Jeffrey. Jeffrey from 55. The bouncing ball into the goal square. He's going to go to the left and it's through for one behind. 10-point lead to the Bombers. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
What do you got, Chewy, on the Reds' edge, big boy?
Time in the forward half. Suns at 56%. Bombers only at 44. Suns ranked 17th this year.
Just those joining us, half time at the MCG, Chewy, for Choice Hotels.
It is Demons by 21 points over the Crows.
And after this, we're going to the Western Derby, number 53. Take it from the second quarter, Lockie Reed, D Committee, Embers.
I like Embers.
Xavier Ellis, Tanya Armstrong, and the Beast Mark Committee, like all that crew. That's probably your grand final crew, the way things are going. Now, ball down the line from Dylan Shield. Will just get inside 50, but coming back with a flight and taking a good mark is Jack Lukosius. In the hole is the modern term for that, Nathan.
Lukosius runs away, has a couple of bounces to the Torquay end. He sweeps a handball wide. Sharp, been really good in his first 2 games. Racking the footy up, goes towards centre wing. The Bombers got the numbers. Redman couldn't take it. Ball at ground level. McPherson hustles and bustles and then pushes the ball out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Centre wing, outer side, GMHBA Stadium, 10-point lead to the Bombers. We've got 9 minutes 37 to go before quarter time.
Uncontested possessions, the Suns lead at 37-26. Time in the forward half, Gold Coast 56-44. Time possession, Gold Coast 38-33. They're all for Red Z, yet Essendon lead at 12-2. Goals so far to Stringer and Perkins. Essendon send the ball to the half forward line. Coming out is Waterman. He is a big-bodied operator, your man Waterman. Now Perkins, he's kicked one of the goals. Back to Waterman, got to get a free kick. What's he weigh, Waterman? 88 kilos, Ross. He's a solid unit.
And I like how he's got Collins as a man. I like Collins' strength if you want to stand and deliver. He's great, but he's getting him on the lead, taking him up the ground and leading him to the ball and trying to expose his lack of pace.
Left foot ball, 30 from home. Free kick, going the way of the Gold Coast. Francis was appealing for it. Ballard, who is more of a skinny man, but he's strong in the contest. And he goes to Jeremy Sharp, the man from Atterdale in game 10.
You find sometimes those skinny, wiry guys are really, really strong.
I know all about this, Nate.
Sinewy.
Yes.
They are.
I understand it, Duck.
Not you, Howie. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about players like Ballard.
Righto.
Ray Shoesmith on this.
Talking about players like Simpson at Carlton.
Gladley.
The great Matthew Dent, who played at the Bulldogs.
Grimes.
Sinewy.
David Burke.
Tucky.
Tucky.
Michael Tuck, definitely.
Dustin Fletcher.
Yeah.
I can relate to that, Nate.
So the ball in the hands of Ridley on the point of the square. He goes wide with that defensive kick into the pocket. Francis will be the target. Numbers everywhere, but at ground level, the Bombers got the numbers. Took Miller, made it his own, got the handball out. Merritt tracked it back. McGrath was there. Hind, quick kick back inside forward 50, going back with courage as Collins. And he marked it. He had Guelphy coming the other way, so he wouldn't have been that scared.
Impressive player, Sam Collins.
Good player.
I enjoy watching
he's
him play.
gone on.
Yep.
Like we sort of did listen to him at the Dockers. We had a couple of good defenders, but his strength is that roll off that mark he took there. But if you want to get hold of him, you've got to come up on the lead, come up at the ball. But that's easier said than done.
Did you see this in him, Ross?
What he's
Delisted.
did, we delisted him. No, he did those things. He was dominating. We had a couple of handy defenders. And look, the club recruited Hamling through the door. So you make a decision that we think Hamling is better than you. So something's got to give.
In retrospect?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty comfortable with the decision.
Okay. The Suns poked the ball inside 50, but just pushed aside. Was King by a much smaller man who's having a good year. Laverde, he's good, Nate.
And we spoke about this. Essendon are like chaos, go forward. Gold Coast control the ball. It's 20 uncontested marks to 5. Gold Coast way.
Draper takes one now, Bob James style, Mickey R.
Yeah, with the ball being pushed to the Reg Hickey stand, the outer side, players can't get on the ground, so Stringer's just gone, Heppel's got on. They've been off for quite a while, so they've been desperate to get their main stars on the ground.
Robbo, you're pretty much the only man in the seated area.
I'm the only bastard in the ground. Seriously, I am sitting here completely by myself, which I was last night at Marvel. It's sensational and it's weird. Weird stuff.
What's the definition of bastard?
No, we don't need to go into that at this stage.
Oh, okay.
But the Gold Coast are defending inside 50. I'll tell you a story about Robbo in the boundary at one stage. There's the Gold Coast running through the middle of the ground. Getting caught there is Joel Jeffrey. Now McPherson. There's a little snort from Rossi.
That wasn't me. I didn't snort.
Okay. And now Bose.
No, it wasn't me.
I remember being at the footy one day with Robbo. We were doing a double job down on the boundary. And there was some kids getting in Robbo's way. I'm talking sort of 9 and 10-year-olds having their first experience of the footy. Robbo has given these kids one of the biggest cooks I've ever seen. One left in tears, probably never to return to the footy again. McPherson, inside 50 ball. King, hopeful shot towards goal. Gets down towards the boundary line. Gee, it's a funny old game of footy. Swallow takes it. You'll remember that, Robbo, as it goes across the line. You gave those youngsters an absolute pasting.
I would never do that to bring kids to tears, no. But I'm not one for giving a ribbon to every kid in a race either, just quietly.
So you would be a bastard, wouldn't you?
You like your space down there, Robbo?
No, I did. If you're interfering with what's going on in the ground, go and play in the playground, seriously.
That was the advice Robbo gave them.
Fiorini, 11 disposals early from the stoppage, goes long into the pocket and ball goes out of bounds. They appeal for deliberate and they get it against Stewart. The ball bounced up and then he just tapped it out. I don't know what he's arguing with the umpire about. That's the only thing he wanted to do. And Jeffrey takes the free kick. We like the look of him, Howard.
Yeah,
there's a little
like
bit of something to him. He'd be an entertainer at a party.
Out of the Wanderers in the Northern Territory, I like him a lot.
He's going to run around with the right foot and snap this.
Come on, Joel.
The wind will be blowing across the face of goal, brings it back enough. Uses the Sheeran nicely.
JJ.
And they get one. He gives a little bit of trash talk too. 1-2-8 the Gold Coast, 2 straight 12 the Bombers, 4-point margin. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Couple of low numbers, two-man for the Bombers. Merritt only 4. Any others?
Yeah, and he's averaging 32. And McGrath, we know it's his first game back in 9 weeks. He's only had the 3 touches. And Dyson Heppel has been averaging for Triple M Red Z 25. He's only had the 3.
Really nice finish from that young man. Remember his dad?
It's Russell Jeffrey.
Yes.
Very good play.
Yeah, tough, hard.
Yes.
Tough, hard.
Bouncing half back.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yep.
That's his son. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved his composure. He thought he had the confidence to go back, just step inside 2 steps and laid it across beautifully. Great control on the ball, snap hook.
Jake Stringer starting in the middle here, I'm not sure. But did you know he's been the number 1 ranked player the past 8 weeks in the AFL?
Jakey Stringer.
The number 1 ranked player.
Good effort.
8 weeks. Last 8 weeks.
You need 2 more and he'd be up there with Nate. As Parrish drives the ball forward. The Bombers sneak it inside 50. Dev Smith. Perkins applies a tackle. Adelaide have kicked 4 of the last 5, I reckon, Chewy. Choice Hotels.
And they've cut the margin back to 9 points, Howie, early into the third quarter against the Demons.
Bombers on the attack. Taking the ball out of defence, though, is really good. Noah Anderson, talking about Suns. His father, Dean, he's a very good footballer for the Hawks and the Saints duck.
Yeah, he did. Running machine. Ended up on the board at St Kilda for him.
Right.
Yeah, pretty sure. Running machine he was. Long sleever.
Yeah, long
right?
sleeve, long haired. Won premierships with the Hawks as the Suns move the ball forward. How many premierships did he win, Anderson? I want to say 2, Chewy, but...
Well, I'm tipping more than 2.
Okay, as the ball is not going anywhere, just inside 50 for the
What have you
Gold
got?
Coast.
88, 89?
I reckon
Yeah,
89, 91.
Did he miss 91?
No, well, Chew will be able to tell.
Great
shortly.
wingers, Darren Pritchard.
Oh, yeah.
Was he a special winger?
My word, he was.
Ball up on the 50 for Gold Coast. You think they're kicking into a 3-goal breeze, so doing okay. Only 4 points behind. 12 plays 8. The ball's out of bounds.
Well, Stuart should be wrapped with this start. Got him in an arm wrestle. Got it on their terms. Controlling the ball. Time in front half. Good intensity. Really strong quarter for the Gold Coast.
89-91, Chewy.
Yeah, spot on, Howie.
A couple of premierships for Dean Anderson.
So boundary throw in. The ruck work to be done by King. Now it's Smith in there, up against Draper. Draper won the ball down. Looking for Merritt. Merritt's handball from the ground level, looking for Parrish. Fiorini beat them both, but Merritt went back in and took it off him. A lot of players around this footy. Ball goes back inside forward 50 and Corbett takes a good mark. Up against Ridley.
It's one thing he's got really good hands, Corbett. I like him.
Long reach, hasn't he?
Yeah, I like him in the air.
You know what they call this man?
Gorby?
The freak from the creek. He's down Fish Creek way and used to light it up down there, Rossi, the freak from the
Tear
creek.
it apart.
Yes.
It's a 25-year-old mature age, 27 goals in his career, 21 this year from the 14 games, so been handy. Right foot, and he gets the goal. You heard him say, come on, Leighton style. And they're in front, 2-2-14. The Bombers are 2 straight 12, Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, I'd be disappointed with that effort, Ridley. It was just a one-on-one, but the ball's drifting to the wind side, and Corbett read the drop zone early, just flicked over to the drop zone side, and he kept Ridley out of it. As Doug said, strong hands.
Triple M Red Z, top 3 ranked players on the ground, all the Suns' way. Took Miller, 9 disposals and 3 centre clearances. Anderson with 7. Fiorini, as Brownie's been speaking about of late, 12 touches, leading ball in on the ground.
Fox Footy, amongst others, reporting that next week will be Eddie Betts' last game, and they're expecting an official retirement announcement. Not confirmed by the club or Eddie at this stage, but reported by a couple of major media outlets, including Fox Football.
Been a special player, hasn't he?
Bums on seats, Rossi.
Incredible, great person. International rules. Took my son under his wing at training. Didn't know him from above. Yeah, he was only a little fella, but he was incredible.
It's a great story. Draper taps it down towards Stringer. Ducks man rated number 1 with a big bombing 70-metre ball forward. Peter Wright threatened a couple of times. He's taken one contested mark that was out on the wing. Francis, now Peter Wright, squaring ball, top of the square. And the Suns will mop it up though. It was unselfish from Wright in the end. Lemons chipped in front, and now Lemons squeezes the ball down the wing.
Hine to Parrish.
Lemons squeezes the ball.
Parrish, the centre half forward. We got it, Howard.
Lemons squeezes it.
Snelling from 55. He's got Heppel to the right. Does he elect to go there? No, he doesn't. He goes the low darting ball. It's a good 1-2, and he finds Guelphy. 35 out directly in front, Guelphy.
Did you get the Lemons one?
I got it the first time.
Okay.
I need to back over it. It was that bad.
Just checking that you got it.
So the Bombers...
I missed it early, but the 8-time repeat of it.
I think they need this goal. They're 2 points behind, kicking with a stiff breeze.
Is that what you think?
It's exactly what I think. He's got a little tattoo of a lightning bolt on the inside of his arm. Near a small little number, but it's definitely there. Guelphy hooks it. Not going to work back. Bad miss. 2-1-13, the Bombers. 2-2-14. They try by a point on the Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Choice Hotels around the ground, Stewie. Melbourne, Adelaide.
Early into the third quarter, Demons by 9 points over the Crows.
And the Western Derby, what did you say it was, 53?
Number 53, Howie.
Look forward to that later on. Powell drives the ball towards the near side. This man, Ridley, what a player he is. Just stands in the pack and takes the mark. Centre wing right on the Howie Games logo as they drop the ball forward. He's turning straight over to the Suns. And that is Swallow, I believe.
So centre half back. Short ball finds Sexton at half back. He goes the low ball. That's a good one as well. He finds Ainsworth. Ainsworth still backward of centre wing. Fiorini offers up a lead, so 2 took Miller. Clark looks to be running with him. So Ainsworth to half forward, free kick picked out, and it's going to go against Townsend, the former final specialist from the Tigers. And I love the fact that a few weeks ago he put himself up to do the post-game interviews.
Yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it? As the ball's progressed down the wing. And it's taken across the line. And that was in the hands of Jeremy Sharp.
Spent a year at Essendon as well, didn't he, Townsend?
Yep.
Simon, Zach, thank you.
So it's a 1-point lead to the Suns. Stringer and Perkins with the first 2, and then Jeffrey and Corbett. And on a Sunday afternoon on Triple M, wherever you're listening, I hope you're dealing with whatever's coming your way, and what's a pretty difficult time for everybody at the moment. Merritt, now McPherson, punches it in the hands of Miller. Red Z Chew.
Triple M Red Z, 10 touches.
Make that 11. Is he leading all?
No, Fiorini is with 12.
Okay, Fiorini started nicely. That's old mate Braden out of Greensborough. In the Northern under 18s, I reckon. A little turn from Guelphy, gets it to Parrish. What a year he's having. Slides it forward, hits Stringer. Is he leading the best and fairest, Parrish?
Right here.
Nate, it's your area.
It'll be either him or
Merritt.
Zach Merritt.
Yep, he's got this man that's got the ball in his hands.
Well, he's the number 1 rated player for 8 weeks in a row. You'd have to be in front, wouldn't it?
It's got to be close, and this distance, as we saw before, not beyond him, wind in his back. He'll run around to the right.
Big Jake from 52. Duck says he's got it in him. You wouldn't disagree with the Duck. Now runs to the right as Duck said he would. Hooks it going for the distance, so he didn't really time the ball. Oh, it's marked in the back by Francis.
Yep.
Well, he just sort of stood up in the back of the pack, did Aaron. He's going to have to do one of those hooks around the corner, but I fancy him. I like the longer hair he's rolling. Just seems to give him a bit more extra confidence. And Essendon will need this, as Nate said. Oh, after the siren now. So what does he do now, Duck?
Well, he can't run around, obviously. He can't go beyond the mark. So what he can do is he can come closer to the man on the mark, start on the fence, and then come to.
They can't get outside of the line of the man on the mark.
That should be what he should be doing, but he's gone back too far for that.
Yep.
So this will be interesting to see how.
He hasn't played a lot forward.
The breeze helps him here, though.
Aaron handles this. He stays on his line, kicks it straight across the face of everything, and in the end puts it out on the full with a wry grin. So she's quarter time here in the blockbuster down at GMHBA. In fact, he snuggled through for one behind in the end, which ties things up. 2-2-14 apiece. Don't go anywhere. You got Mickey Roberts, you got the Duck, you got the Two Man, you got Rossi, and you got Nate Brown. That's your team on a Sunday afternoon. All squared, 2-2 apiece. McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Can't wait to get stuck into the second quarter here. Triple M Rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks footy.
It's Macca's 50th birthday, so try one of their classic double burgers today.
Every Victorian AFL team has said no to sports gambling sponsorship. Together, we can make sure kids get to love the game, not the odds. Triple M Rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football, and I'm back Monday morning from 6.
Nick Revo with us. GWS last week, did you see they used Miracle on Ice? Yeah. So Leon Cameron used it as a motivational tool.
And that's why North were using Mighty Ducks for years.
Yeah, the Flying V.
Yeah, the Flying V.
Flying V. See, Jack Zeeble runs back into the back line.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, back Monday from 6. Or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
Even after 50 years, we're still celebrating the classics at Macca's. So for our birthday, why not take our iconic taste to the next level? Party with a double quarter pounder, Filet-O-Fish, McChicken or Big Mac today. Available after 10:30am.
G'day, Howie here. If you're a sports fanatic like me, then have a listen to my podcast, The Howie Games, where I sit down with the biggest names in sport, like Masters winner Adam Scott, NBA champion Luke Longley, and surfing gun Sally Fitzgibbons, to ask them how they started out and how they've picked themselves up after their biggest losses. Brought to you by Seek. The best job ads find the best people. Search the Howie Games podcast. Download the new Listener app now and listen for free.
Listener.
At Coles, we're doing everything we can to help you shop safe. That means extra cleaning in-store and contactless click and collect to your car. Please remember to check in via the QR code when you shop in-store. It's all to help you shop safe at Coles.
Why did we build with True Value Homes? I love that we were dealing with a family-owned business who really values every customer. We never felt like we were just a number, you know? And when you take one look at the build quality, it's clear why they've won so many awards and have 5-star reviews. If you're thinking about building, you have to visit truevaluehomes.com.au or call 1300 GET VALUE to learn more about their lifetime structural warranty available now.
True Value Homes, building your future together. CBDU 38708.
When you're a tradie, time is money. And that makes it time to head to Robot Building Supplies, because Robot's got it. Steel, sleepers, wire mesh, timber, roofing, and more at the lowest prices. Like Corrie Roof Sheeting Zinc in stock at $11.55 per metre. Colour also available, custom cut. Save time and money with Robot. Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. Call 1300 GO ROBOT or robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT, Robot Building Supplies.
Asbestos. Just the word is enough to make most people stop and think. If you think asbestos could be doing harm in your home or business, don't just think about doing something about it. Do it. Call Identifiber now for same-day asbestos materials testing. With over 30 years' experience, the Identifiber team are your experts in asbestos and hazardous materials consulting and air monitoring services. Identifiber. All your hazardous materials services in one location. 67 Atherton Road, Oakley, and identifiber.com.au.
Every Victorian AFL team has said no to sports gambling sponsorship. Together, we can make sure kids get to love the game, not the odds. Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Quarter time at GMHBA Stadium, where of all things Essendon are playing the Gold Coast Suns, and she's 2-2-14 apiece. Stringer and Perkins kicked the opening two, and then Jeffrey and Corbett replied for the Gold Coast Suns. Bob Jane T-March by 3. Get one free instant cash back on Bridgestone, Continental, Pirelli and many more. BobJane.com.au. The Suns will have the advantage of the breeze, is what you're saying, Robbo?
Yeah, it's dropped a little bit, Howie. Black clouds have actually come right over the ground. I reckon it's dropped a little, still going down to that Bells Beach end, but not as significant, and pushing onto that outer side, as Rossi was saying. JJ with the main, Jeffrey, he's got a lower back problem. Been working on him all day, all quarter, and during that huddle, and he's got taping and padding and the whole lot, but he's going to actually start, so he's a tough thing. And there's no indicators whatsoever here, no flags, no tents, nothing flapping in the breeze. It's a bit like Sheedy tying down the windsock at Windy Hill, you know, so weird stuff going on. They miss Tipper, though, the Bombers, don't they, up forward with that pressure?
Yeah, my word, they do. Mickey Roberts, the number one man in the business. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Chewy?
Howie, halfway into the third quarter, and it's Melbourne leading the Crows by 10 points.
We've got a game here, Duck.
We certainly have, and given that breeze that Robbo's spoken about, I reckon the Gold Coast have done a really good job, even though Robbo said it's dropped off a little bit, because there were periods in that game where it looked like the Bombers might have got away, but they were able to just hold up, and I think that's the improvement in this team. The Gold Coast Suns, I think if you give them a sniff, they generally hang around, and they've shown us this year that they're certainly capable of that. So you're right, game on, no question.
And I think they're going to play the conditions, get it over to the grandstand side, get it to the race side, the attacking side. That's what the great Geelong teams did, and then defend when you have to on the far side, like Robbo said.
2-2-14 apiece, start of the second term. Triple M IGA Liquor scoreboard. For McDonald, Remott Ward, Triple M rocks footy down to half forward for the Bombers. Snelling used his body really well. 55 from home, into the 50, fisted away. Opportunity now for Parrish at ground level. Can't pick it up. Going back in was Snelling again. Might have got one high, but the umpire didn't pay it. Another ball up.
Perkins getting shoved off the ruck contest. Stringer applies a bit of heat. Ballard tries to belt her out of defence. Let's do a couple of teammates. So Essendon in attack, trying to take something a little bit special as Guelphy. Hine bangs it round towards the top of the square. Waterman, big fish from behind from Jai Farry in game 10, the man from Halls Creek. And it's across the line in the fist of the 24-year-old. 14 apiece here, 2-2. And here's Nate.
Kick into the pocket to Lukosius, probably their best distributor by foot.
Not sure why you'd go to that. Power would go to that position.
Lukosius back over the goal, he's defending. Into the pocket, and he finds Farah. So Farah in the back pocket, another short one. Lukosius.
So Lukosius has got us where you can run to in the first place.
Triple M C-Bus Super Special Comments delivering consistent long-term return for members. C-Bus for all of us. Now they work the ball, but that's an errant kick. Opportunity for McGrath, but coming in and beating him to it was Townsend. Did well. Found some space, Townsend. Got it out to Anderson. Anderson's handball back to Townsend. Shoveled it forward. Bouncing ball down to half forward. Wasn't a bouncing ball. Got there on the full in the end. Ainsworth made it his own. He's 55 out. Lead's going everywhere. King ducks back. He wants to go to King now. He sees him lead back to the pocket. King, 1 on 3. In the end, he brings it to ground level, but Guelphy slaps it through for one behind.
Great awareness by Guelphy. Understand the rules. Under pressure within 2 metres, just take it through. We saw the Bulldogs game yesterday. Young Bailey Smith sort of trying to keep it alive and cost them a goal.
Half a metre out and put it back into the centre of the goal square.
Heppel plays onto the near side. Beautiful looking drop punt out of defence. Collins, though, gets in front of Wright. He's having the best of that battle at the moment, but Wright's got him here holding the ball.
I'm not sure he actually tackled him there, How he might have had his hand on him.
Just had his hand on him, didn't he, Doug? Yeah. On the Harvey Norman. Buy a selected laundry package at Harvey Norman and get a bonus gift card.
He's doing a good job, Collins, on big Peter.
He kicks it to centre half forward. It's a beautiful kick, and Archie Perkins with the samurai haircut surveys the seam, wants to go quickly, does to the pocket. Options are plenty, but coming in and taking the spills was Guelphy, and Guelphy kicks the goal.
Geez, well, that's a lovely front and square crumb from Guelphy. So he's covering a lot of territory. He's knocked it through on that play at the other end to get that play started, and he's ran on the off-ball side to take a crumb and kick a lovely goal.
3-3-21, 2-3-15, 6-point lead of the Bombers. Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard, proudly local, proudly independent.
That's as nice as it gets, doesn't it, as a front and square when you can hit it with speed, knowing that no one is able to put a finger on you.
There's a little bit of Timmy Watson in the night grand final, I think, where he crumbed it and danced over the pack and ran through and kicked a beautiful goal. But
Harvey Norman will give us a good look here, Ross. Exactly what occurred. Just get a really good contest and then speed and then nothing in front of him.
But you could see on the he's tracking the ball in, wasn't he? Watching the plaque, watching the flight of the ball, timed his run. Beautiful front and square.
It's the second time young Sharp's been found out ball watching.
Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. You've got Ross Lyon and Wayne Carey delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus for all as Merritt sprints out of the middle. Funny little dinky kick forward. Francis went a clever tap towards Stringer. It might work out if Jake can finish. This will be a goal and a half. Oh, that's top shelf gear from the Bombers. And Jakey's got two. 4-3-27 to the Suns 2-3-15. The Bombers all of a sudden up by 2 goals.
I don't know whether you'll agree with this, Brownie and Ross and Howie, if you want.
Thank you.
And that is, I reckon even when he was at the Bulldog, he had that All-Australian year and he was obviously very, very good. Then he became he always went for the spec. He's a bit of a fumbler, a bit of a paddler. He's so clean now. He does the basics very well.
Very clean, yeah.
Isn't he? Like that pick up
He's
there.
He's really matured,
That pick up there at speed isn't easy. And he just picked that up, put it on his boot really quickly. That's a class finish. Like, this isn't easy here, this pick up, the way the ball's, and he picked it up cleanly, and nice finish.
We knew, Chu said, the number one centre square bouncers virtually in the AFL, and we said Stringer. So on that Harvey Norman replay, not one Gold Coast son has ran forward with Stringer. He's ran the centre forward, picked it up without a Gold Coast player on him.
Kicked both of his goals out of the midfield today, Stringer for McDonald's Room Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy, the Suns go wide. It's a bouncing ball out of bounds.
And you don't want to get beaten by what you know. So Gold Coast mid should know. He's going to bolt hard forward. I've got to see him out. And to Brownie's point, the player was ball watching, and he's got the quality just to hang you.
Well, he's a midfielder who kicks goals now. When you think Merritt only kicked 4 for the year, Parrish 9, and for Stringer to kick as many as he has, 32, I'd imagine that half of those have been playing midfield, Ash.
Yeah, spot on, Brownie for Triple M Red Z.
Loans for the self-employed.
He doesn't even know.
Duck just laughing at his own work again. Heppel got it out to Shield. Another handball stepping through. Merritt, nice. Clark, Cutler. Running through the middle of a GMHBA. High ball inside forward 50. Getting back was Waterman. Got it cut. Quite reeled it in at the end. I thought he had it controlled. And just at the last moment, put it to the deck and another ball up.
Well, you're right, Brad. He did all the hard work. He sort of pushed off, created split with the defender, come back and just double grabbed the ball there.
Right, taps it towards Shield. Perkins bursts through his hands. Bowes, accomplished defender, gets a little touch on it. Stringer in everything at the moment to Heppel. Bombers just inside 50. Looping hand pass Durham. They go deep again to Essendon. Perkins gets a hand on it. They can raffle it, and Waterman gets the winning ticket, and that ticket is number 45. And the Bombers all of a sudden kick 3 in the space of a couple of minutes. And now they're stretching the Suns against the breeze. 5-3-33 to 2-3-15. All of a sudden it's a 3-goal margin. That's all on your Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent.
And the worrying thing in that little passage of play for mine was the lack of pressure from Gold Coast. So Merritt was able to get it a couple of times. The Essendon players, they actually didn't hit the targets with the handballs. It went to ground a couple of occasions, but the pressure wasn't quite there. So they just had a bit of room.
They actually fumbled it a little bit, didn't they? But here it is on the replay. So a smother by Merritt. Quick hands out. Another quick hand. That's Merritt. No one went with him. It was really a work rate issue. And Perkins, uncontested, launching the square. You shouldn't get outnumbered in your own goal square. That's to your point, Wayne. That's, 3-2. That's work rate. Someone's not working hard enough there on the Gold Coast side.
3 goals in a row to the Bombers, 18-point margin. Draper Charges it after the footy and then sockers it out of midair. Wright couldn't take it. He's 2.03 metres, and that's how high it bounced. Right over his pill. And it's a small pill for a big body too, of a boundary thrown on the outer side.
And it's the psychology of the wind, isn't it? Like Robbo was like, it's a 2 goals worth 2 goals to you. But at the minute, the wind's doing nothing for the Gold Coast. It's just the energy and the intensity and the contest work of Essendon.
Choice Hotels around the ground, Chewy.
Demons by 16 points over the Crows. Just under 4 minutes remaining before three-quarter time.
Calling that one, Chew, or not?
I am.
Okay. Ball out on the 4. Going to go the way of the Bombers and Sammy Durham in Game 5. What are you seeing on the Harvey Norman, Duck?
Have you called that one at three-quarter time?
Yeah, I think the Demons will run away with the victory.
Conviction. Collins points right again.
They're sitting third on the ladder.
The Crows beat the D's last time, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
3 points.
Yeah,
okay.
A deliberate out of bounds wasn't paid.
Gold Coast wind the ball down the close wing. Now Sexton shanks the ball forward to a one-on-one contest. Francis does pretty well. Now there's a chance for Jacob Townsend to run onto it, but Redmond just gives him a little shove at the right moment. Stewart breaks one tackle. Feigns a handball, and Essendon trying to clear their defensive area. In the end, it's fisted across the line, centre wing. The Bombers have kicked the only 3 for the term. It was square at quarter time. It's now a 3-goal margin, 5-3 to 2-3 the way of Essendon. Still 15 minutes, which is good news before the major break.
Robbo, nice warm day down there, Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, those grey clouds have come over, Brownie. But I'm fascinated with McGrath. McGrath, right knee, heavily strapped. First game since round 12. And he's surviving. He's playing well, McGrath.
We've got the Northerly today, Howard, down in Geelong. What does that do for the Surf?
Offshore, pumping Brownie.
So the ball in the hands of Redman at half-back. Took an easy mark, centre half-back. Bombers lead by 18.
North's good for sort of Barwon heads, and then Norwesterly you need to sort of head for Point Impossible or Winky Pop or your favourite bells, Brownie.
How about for your little blokes fishing? How does the wind affect his fishing?
Oh, well, I'll tell you about his fishing in a moment.
Is he out fishing all day today again?
My word, he is.
So the ball down towards half forward, and Laverde again.
He's that organised, Ross. His mum bought him $1's worth, as much chicken as you could see. There was a sale on down at the IGA, and he was organising in little packets. I said, what are you doing? And he said, well, Dad, these packets are my weekend packets because I fish for longer, because then he freezes the chicken. And these are my weekday when I don't need so much because I can only go for an hour and a half.
Did you say, son, I want $1 million a year? You can throw the chicken out if you need to. We'll get you some new stuff.
No, he likes to do the right thing.
I estimate it to be about 1.205.
He could buy Ingham's.
That's all right. He's just progressing.
Yeah, love his discipline, though. Where'd you get that from?
His mum. We'd be trying to catch a trevally or maybe a little Australian salmon today. Oh, just a couple of ruckmen on the head. That's a bit unusual.
Do you ever eat the bounty?
No, we always throw it back. He's an environmentally conscious young man.
Jeez,
he's got to get over that.
Let him live.
Well, I'll let you catch the same fish 2 or 3 times. As Ridley bangs it out of his defensive area, but only as far as Jeremy Sharp.
Poor bloody fish's gums will be all cut up. So Sharp back inside forward 50 King. Can't mark it. There was pressure coming the other way. Durham, his handball. Stewart. They're working hard in defence. Ridley to Redmond. Good tackle on Redmond. Big tackle laid by Miller. And he got him in the pocket.
He's a strong tackler, Tuke Miller, isn't he? Just really stuck it on Redmond and drives him into the ground.
Didn't get the free kick, though. The umpire said no option, but we'll have a boundary throw in.
Was he Vic Metro captain, Miller? Or I got that horribly wrong. Chewy, you might be able to tell me about that. He was? Well, that was Rabsy in my back. You're saying he was. Okay, that's good news.
Well done, Rabs.
Rabsy is our producer extraordinaire on a Sunday. He's done a fine job this year.
He has.
With Jason in the back row as well, always dominating technically. As Merritt slams it to the outer side. Power floats across. He is a floater in the air, Power. Perkins shrugs one tackle. I think a lot of things had come to Archie Perkins in life. He's an effective-looking footballer and a fine-looking man.
Okay. So then towards half forward.
He's a good-looking man.
Shield, 55 out. Look for Snelling.
Well-educated.
Snelling trying to get it off. That man Perkins just had the stuffing knocked out of him as well.
Collins.
So we know he's human.
And he's tough. He's bounced up there.
Yeah,
he's got the full
He's
back.
got everything. So Snelling got the free kick. 60 out. Dumps it inside forward 50. Gets to the top of the square. Big Peter Wright. 1 by 2. Durham off the hands. And Durham kicks a goal.
Well, he did his role there, Peter Wright. The 2 metres come into play there. Don't get out marked. Bring it to ground. The Bombers are crumbing really well. Guelphy, another one on centre wing, followed up by Devon Smith with a beautiful crumb and 3 crumbs to really create that goal. So at ground level, they're doing very well, the Bombers.
About to say, look, very happy for himself for a pretty easy goal from the top of the square, Durham, but it's his first goal of his career, Ducky.
Well done. No. Bob Jane teammates, Mickey up.
Yeah, Dyson Hepwell, as we know, we spoke to him last week.
Yeah,
He's had that thumb issue, and got back in a week, which is amazing. But the doctors actually re-strapped that. They've had a good look at that thumb. He's on the phone at the moment, should be okay, but obviously playing with a lot of pain with that thumb.
Not many better feelings in a game of football than kicking a goal, Duck. And we just saw elation on that young man's face on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen.
Well, the more you kick, you get satisfaction out of setting them up as well, I think. It was always just as much, Brownie, for me anyway.
Something wrong with Duck today.
So Smith drives it deep forward. So you can look us in the eye and say you 100%. Genuinely enjoyed setting them up as much as
100%.
Nate?
I love kicking them.
Right. What about you, Ross? 3 on debut. Right. Do you rather kick them or, do you enjoy kicking them or setting them up?
Nothing better than just giving someone a goal.
Fitzroy, we didn't get enough to set them up. We just took the couple you can put through the sticks.
I'll tell you what, they have been this quarter, Essendon, really efficient. 4 goals, 1 from 7 inside 50s.
You got the ground ball stat, True, for this quarter? It just seems like they're really mopping it up.
Yeah, Triple M Red Z, Ross. It's 12 apiece.
Oh.
But
as I think it's where they get.
Yeah, exactly.
Microphone's about 48 centimetres away from your mouth, Ross.
Bombers stream forward. Smith, Perkins marks on his chest, 35 out. So you would rather kick. You'd rather give it off to Horse than kick it yourself, or through Allison.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's why you're a great player, Duck. Well, you're a great player.
Good feeling when you get it wheel around and then hit someone, or give a handball over the top and see the joy that they get out of it.
I love it, Duck. It's could implement a bit of that on Sunday. Might distract things up a bit. I've seen that side of you on a Sunday. 39-15. Perkins, he's already kicked 1, Chewy.
He has indeed. Picked 9 in last year's draft.
There you go.
He's a good-looking unit.
Yeah, he's got a lot going for him, has Archie. Oh, not the best.
Not his kicking.
Just back to that ground ball, Chewy. It looks like they're crumbing really well in their forward 50, the Bombers. What's the number there in their forward 50?
Spot on, Ross. 4-zip Essendon's way.
At what stage do you reckon, Nate? The score at 40-15 Essendon's way. How many games will Ross need to do before he realises for the last 50 years on radio the caller tells you the score after a shot at goal and then he speaks? How long do you think it's going to take to pick that up?
It's taken him 12 months so far. He hasn't quite got it. So Nick,
it's not like it's a new
thing. You know what? If you were controlling the world, there'd be no Uber, there'd be no DoorDash. It's called disruption. There'd be no iPhones. You just want to keep doing it the same way.
So you think we should bring a broadcast on the radio where people don't know the score? It's a revolutionary idea, Ross.
Well, they don't score that often.
Okay.
Perkins has been good, but his kick's still directed to half forward and marking the footy was Ballard.
I'm not seeing you, Q-Man, you've been doing this for a long time. What do you think?
Well, it is a team role in regards to broadcasting on radio. The callers have right of way in regards to announcing the score, then the specials.
Big kick into the middle. Ballard's turned it over. Dylan Shield.
Not right away, just telling the people.
You know what? I'll take the feedback. It's like I've been a little bit flippant.
Muscles pumping, and then he gets it towards Big Peter Wright.
He goes.
Kicked 7 last week, and this is in his zone. He'll kick it from 55 into the window.
And he had a lot of people talking about those long bombs during the week.
Yep.
So this will be fascinating. And, he's going against it, according to
Is he going against it, Robbo? Bob Jane team up?
It's dropped a little bit, but he's got to go to the left-hand post. He's got to go to the post and it'll drift in.
He gets protection from the social club on the left here.
Big Peter Wright, 55.
Oy.
Big long ball, and he said go to the left of the post. He didn't. He started it right. It stayed right. Should have listened to Robbo. 26-point lead to the Bombers.
What do you got, Chewy, on the Reds' heads?
Yeah, Bombers dominating territory inside 50s 10-6, and they've had 7 scoring shots as well.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. They come on steady, hot and strong. Good gear. The crew at Ream. Now, McGrath, Snelling, hits 50. Unloads. Has he got the accuracy? Just fisted through, land on Stringer's head. But the Bombers have kicked the only 4 of the term. It was all square at quarter time. They've snuck it out to a 20 57-point margin now. We've still got 9 minutes to go before half-time, which is good news. Three-quarter time at the MCG Choice Hotels around the ground, Chewy.
Demons by 23 points over the Crows, Howie.
Okay.
Almost a dangerous kick, and Bowes had to pick it up. Kick was good to centre-half back, and Anderson's got it on the run. Right foot outside to Jeffrey. Jeffrey at half forward, chips a little one into the path of Sexton. Sexton from 55 goes to the top of the square. Big long ball in. What can they do? They can't do a lot because Stewart gets back and takes it across the boundary line, or the point line, for a rush behind. And that's 17 or 16 to the Suns and 42 to the Bombers.
I know we've got the score done. True. How many uncontested marks have Gold Coast taken this quarter? They seem to have lost that part of their game.
Yeah, so it was 26-9 their way at quarter time. This quarter, Ross, they've only taken 7 uncontested marks. Bombers 12.
Redmond downward. Perkins does the full 720. Gets away with it. Oh, Hine. He's kicked it straight to a Gold Coast Sun in Sean Lemons. In fact, it's not Lemons, it's Townsend. My apologies. He plays on, just chips it up on the breeze, wants a hanger from behind. King hasn't been a factor, bounced off his chest. Redmond takes on McPherson, Dark.
Yeah, lucky.
That's holding the ball, that. He had prior opportunity, took 3 steps and just tackled and dropped the ball.
In the end, the Bombers are going to get the free kick, but it's going the way of Clark. But he had a chance, didn't he?
Oh, well, all our instincts were like he picked the ball up, took 2 steps, tackled and just should have been rewarded, the Gold Coast Suns. They're very lucky, the Bombers.
So Clark in his defensive 50. Side leading by 26 points. Halfway through the second term, Clark, what a great kick by foot, straight back to Swallow. Swallow diving ball, and he marks it quite comfortably.
Do you think he's had the career as a number 1 pick or number 2 pick he should have had, Brownie or Duck?
Yeah, I think injury has slowed him up. At one stage he was flying and his directory was going up in a quick fashion, and then injuries have slowed him down. Been solid.
Ridley, Heppel, Parrish. Chain of handballs ends up with Guelph, who can't control it out of bounds and wants to have a bit of a push and shove with Collins.
Won a couple of P&Fs. Right?
Yeah, it's pretty solid, isn't it?
What are Matty Rao's numbers today for Triple M Red Z lending stats? The new breed coming through, Ash.
Matty Rao, Brownie, just the 4 disposals.
174 games for Davey Swallow.
He missed all of 2016 through injury, Howie, and just played the 6 games in 2015.
Thank you, Chewy. The Red Zeds. Sexton. Fiorini drops it forward. Big fly from behind was ambitious. And a couple of Bombers. One was Stewart. And our man, Joel Jeffrey, runs it across the line. 30 around from his attacking goal. Bombers leading at 42-16. Don't go anywhere. Half-time break. You got Nathan Brown with a full update of what's happening in the world of football. Looking forward to that. And then after this game, we go to the Western Derby 53 with Reed, Cometti, Embley, Ellis, Armstrong and the Beast, Mark Cometti.
So the boundary throw in. Giants in attack. Scrambly ball. Got out the back to McGrath. Handball to Parrish. Parrish goes back all the way to the goal square. He's defending to Ridley. Ridley releases the ball outside defensive 50. Well done by Collins. Outmarked Peter Wright. He's had his number so far in the first half. And Collins and Sharp running around the back for a wraparound. Elected not to go there. He's got Powell as well calling for it. Elects not to go as well. Chips it straight back to the man he's been defending, and Wright marks it.
Well, they got the right matchup for Collins. He had Waterman early and struggled with his mobility, but I think Peter Wright might have to think about, let's just take Collins out of that defensive zone and give the other forwards an opportunity without him in the way.
Good mark by Lemons on the outer side. He was squeezed between a couple of players and still managed to bring it in. Redmond from behind. Pay the mark.
Nick Hine's mark. Nick Hine's mark.
No, they're giving it to Hine, who was the man in front of Redmond. So, now 50. 2. So they get a 50 here, old Hindy. I think Jacob Townsend gave him a bit of what for noodles.
He looks angry.
Hindy's still giving it to him, and Townsend's giving it back. Back and forth and back and forth.
A fair lump of a bloke too, Townsend, isn't he?
So
Nick Hine, the recruit of the year. Is there a prize for that? There should be, Ash.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Brown. He'd be right up there, wouldn't he?
Easily the recruit of the year. Hine steps around and then falls over, so has to check his kick and go lateral towards Laverde. Laverde strolls away. Every player in front of him. Down to half forward. Durham went up, couldn't mark it, but he's going to get a block.
What about our man Isaac Smith that we spoke to today, Nudie?
Yeah, he's second.
Okay.
So Durham into the pocket, and Jake Stringer takes an easy mark, and from this pocket should be able to kick this comfortably with this man's ability and skill level.
Well, they're right on top there, the Bombers. The Gold Coast midfield sort of seems to go missing. We called Miller and Fiorini early. What's going on, Chew, after this goal? Let us know.
So Jakey Stringer, he'll run around on the right foot. He's kicked 2 so far. 6 disposals. Had an impact. Runs around, bings it back, and he's a very good player at the moment, Jake Stringer. He's got 3, and the Bombers now 32 points in front, 48 plays 16. Triple M hijacking the scoreboard.
Yeah, Red said, Ross, so Fiorini and Miller, 23 touches combined in the first quarter, only 6 in this second term.
Gone missing.
They have.
Gone missing. MIA. Something, isn't there?
There's a waft across the box.
What?
It's disappointing.
Oh, no. This is a repeat from 3 weeks ago, Howie.
Open the door of the box. The Ducks apparently quacked in the back corner.
Silent but deadly.
48-16 is the Bombers lead. They've kicked 5-0 this term. It's no excuse, though. It's no excuse. There's certain unwritten rules. One is that you give the score directly after on radio, and the second man is...
Do not drop your guts in the box.
Correct,
for Red Z.
Correct. Back in the middle we go. Stringer to Draper. He's got Parrish running. Doesn't go that way. Takes on a tackle. Eventually, he takes on one too many. It might be 50 gets Parrish too. It will be.
10-50.
As I said.
You can see what he's trying to do. They had the 2v1 split. He's trying to draw the tackle and dish it off to Parrish, but the Gold Coast player jockeyed really well and just made the big bloke a little bit indecisive.
Real eye-watering material in here at the moment.
That man was Bowes, Ross.
Bowes.
They've kicked a goal this quarter. The Bombers have 5. Bowes into the 50. King will be the target. Corbett's there as well. Ground level. Laverde spun out of trouble. He needs to get rid of it. Matty Rao done nothing so far. Handball was good. It got back out to Fiorini. And round the body kicks the goal, Fiorini. And they get one back. 3-4-22. The Bombers are 7-4, 7-6, 48. 26-point margin. Triple M hijacking the scoreboard.
And that's that little bit of play that we're talking about with Rao. Just able to stand up, break a tackle and give a handball off. That's what he did when he first broke into this competition. And that's what he'll get back to, I reckon, with another good pre-season. But like I said, just good handball fed back to a man facing towards goal and easy finish.
Taz around the grounds, Chewy.
Early into the final quarter, it's the Demons by 23 points over the Crows.
Essendon, as far as the top 8 situation, Chew, how's that all work?
Yeah, there's 2 scenarios for the Bombers if they were to win. Scenario number 1, they'll be...
What's the live ladder, Chew?
Well, hang on. They'll be inside the 8 duck if Fremantle were to defeat the Eagles.
Okay.
9th.
I think unlikely. The Dockers are very thin tonight.
Yeah, 9th if West Coast defeat Fremantle.
And who
2 points outside.
Bombers got next week?
Bombers have got a winnable game against the Magpies.
Okay. Stringer grabs it straight from Draper. That is ruck work 101 to the big string. Ballard's given a shove, and it'll be a free kick to Francis.
Well, we spoke about them being the number 1 team, two-man, from the scores from Centre Clearance.
Spot on, Duck.
I mean, it's because of the man that actually...
Stringer.
Yeah, Stringer. He really is become a very, very good stoppage player in there.
The thing is, you know he's going to get it, so you have to minimise the damage. You come running out the front of the square, and good luck to your defenders, even though the Gold Coast defender did okay there, but you got to force him out backwards and sideways, not coming out through the front. Give your defenders a chance. Francis for his first goal of the afternoon from a 45. He misses to the far side. 49 plays 22 the way of the Bombers. It was square at quarter time, but the Bombers have kicked 5 goals to 1 this term to lead it by that margin of 27 points. 3.5 to go before the major break.
And the reason for that, Brandon, the 6-6-6, that's allowed players like Stringer to win the footy without as much traffic coming in off the lines. So therefore you're able to run that extra 5-10 metres, deliver it further inside 50.
Good rule, Duck.
Yep, for that reason.
Ball got towards centre wing. Cutler received it from Merritt. Couldn't use his left foot, so went with the banana, and he was pushed off the footy. Now Nick Hine picked it up. Went one way, then the other. Got a play up, back in his defensive 50. Redmond got it now. Redmond moved the ball quickly. One side to the other. Durham's got it. Looks up. Players darting towards centre wing, and one of those is Snelling, who marks on his chest.
Wilbur Snelling out of Goodwood. Game number 40 for the 24-year-old. 38 matches at this particular club. Had some time at Port Adelaide. Heppel inches the ball forward. Stringer attacks it. Every time the ball goes near him, he looks at chance. There's Miller. What's he up to, Chew?
Miller 15.
Make that 17 after those two. Squaring ball to the outer wing. First real sign of King. That is Ben. Marks well contested and just shanked it forward. Turned it straight over to Stewart. That's disappointing, Rossi.
Well, he had all the time in the world and just pulled the kick. Wind got hold of it and let the Bombers off the hook.
Yeah.
Laverde, short ball, and he finds Redmond. Redmond to half forward, looking for Heppel. Used the body nicely, Dyson Heppel. Now what's he got on offer? Got an open forward line. Stringer leads, goes there now. Got over the back to Waterman, and Waterman, that'll be a free kick. And is it going to go to Stringer? It is.
Stringer.
He's kicked 3, Stringer. This is for number 4 in the first half.
Thanks, Jake. Your free kick.
Pretty much playing exclusively as a centre bounce expert, and then pushing forward.
Yes, the Dusty Martin role, centre forward. Yep. It's no coincidence Rutten brought that across from the Tigers.
He's playing less midfield time now than what he was probably 6 weeks ago, where he played predominantly midfield. Now it's just the stoppages and forward.
I think he's playing into absolute strengths, keep his speed, his power, and such a attacking threat.
Well, this is for 4 goals in the first half. 10 disposals. What a big impact. 4 clearances. Jake Stringer to put them 33 points up. 45 out. He's kicked it wide, and that's going to be out of bounds on the full.
Bob Jane, Mickey.
Yeah, Lemons was on the mark there. He's limping badly. He had the physio and the doctor out to him. He's flagged them away. He'll run it out, but he's a sore boy, Lemons.
Thank you, Robbo. A shadow of half-time. Minute and a half to go as Bowes bangs a defensive ball. But this man, Draper Ross, I like watching him play.
Oh, you're right, Harry. He's launched there, his athleticism. And Zach Smith's an experienced ruckman. Back to the Gold Coast after his initial stint at the Cattery as well.
It's only his 19th game. Falls to Guelphy, and the Guelph has got 2 in his bag.
Well, there it is again, Howie, the front and square. Guelphy, that's his second front and square for a goal this quarter.
8-7-55 to 3-4-22. It is the Bombers by 33 points on the Triple M IJ.
Thought I'd just sneak that in, listeners. Well, it's just exciting to see a great little front and square crumble like Guelphy. And we talk about a lot of players struggle in the front half and they go back and they become good half backs. Well, he's gone the other way. He was a struggling backman that they've flicked forward, and he's gone. His pressure and his scrum and his goal kicking has been superb today.
Well, I think that's one of the things when you've got some really good targets forward. If you know they judge the footy really well and they're going to give you a really good contest, you pretty much know where the ball's going to fall. It's not going to be that big spoil a long way.
So what do we call it? We call it the soft drop.
That's it.
They create a beautiful soft drop for those little guys at your feet.
It's coming off the forward's hands, not off the defender's fist.
Rocky used to say there was nothing like a soft drop off the duck.
From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The Bombers out of the middle again. Inside forward 50. Clark with an opportunity. Picked up by Francis. Opportunity now off the ground, but it's going to go through for a rush behind. Off the boot of Waterman. Peppering the goals. The Bombers 56 plays 22. 34-point margin inside the last minute before half-time.
So the ball will be brought back in by Powell. Comes to the near side towards Mickey Roberts. You can see him there on the Harvey Norman replay, looking magnificent as always. Teeth white, hair brown, hair immaculate. He's a good-looking man. McGrath's caught. We've got 30 seconds here to go, Brownie, before the major break. You might as well bring us home.
So Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen, you see big Draper charging towards the ruck contest up against Smith. Bit of a journeyman. Smith started with the Suns, went to the Cats, back to the Suns. Thought he was playing, to be honest, when I saw him out there today. But Smith, handball wide, Francis an opportunity. Heard the call from Shield. Shield to Stringer. Had a little bit of fumble, Jake Stringer. You don't often see that. And they collar him and they get the ball back, the Suns, and there's 7 seconds to go. McPherson goes wide. There'll be no more scores before half-time. There'll be a 34-point lead in favour of the Bombers at half-time. 8:56. The Gold Coast Suns are 3-4-22 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
For Ream Hot Water.
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. Robot Building Supplies, now delivering contact-free. Visit robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
It's better than good.
Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Triple M's $10,000 vault. Unlock the door with these numbers.
7, 8, 3, 0.
There's only 24 possible combinations. So if you don't win, someone else will. Make your appointment for the Marty Sheargold Show tomorrow morning between 8 and 8:15 on Melbourne's Triple M.
Even after 50 years, we're still celebrating the classics at Macca's. So for our birthday, why not take our iconic taste to the next level? Party with a double quarter pounder, Filet-O-Fish, McChicken or Big Mac today. Available after 10:30am.
G'day, Howie here. If you're a sports fanatic like me, then have a listen to my podcast, The Howie Games, where I sit down with the biggest names in sport, like Masters winner Adam Scott, NBA champion Luke Longley, and surfing gun Sally Fitzgibbons, to ask them how they started out and how they've picked themselves up after their biggest losses. Brought to you by Seek. The best job ads find the best people. Search the Howie Games podcast. Download the new Listener app now and listen for free.
Listener.
On now at Harvey Norman, LG 10 kilo washer and 9 kilo dryer package, $2,997 plus bonus $300 gift card. Huge value. Fisher & Paykel 8 kg dryer and front load washer package, now $2,498 plus bonus $200 gift card. Bonus $200 cashback with Bosch Series 8 package, 8 kilo washer and 9 kilo dryer, only $2,698. Cashback by redemption. Bonus gift cards on selected laundry packages. On now at Harvey Norman.
The Renault Koleos SUV adds a little luxury to your everyday. Drive away from just $33,990. So what are you waiting for? Contact your local dealer. Renault Koleos. Life less ordinary.
Welcome to Amy's Everyday Arena, where competitor Keith is pulling nails from the decking. Oh, the nail slips. Now he's spinning the hammer, round and round. Oh dear, not the telly! Luckily, unlike other insurers, Amy offers optional accidental damage cover on home building and contents. Who helps cover the challenges of the everyday arena? Amy does. Optional accidental damage at home cover is available with Amy Home Building and Contents Insurance. Exclusions apply. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS at amy.com.au.
The lowdown around town.
Building with True Value Homes means unrivaled build quality from a multi-award-winning 5-star rated builder. Visit truevaluehomes.com.au. True Value Homes, building your future together. CBDU 38708.
The lowdown.
Over 50% of tickets have been sold in the Royal Melbourne Hospital Home Lottery. Don't miss out. Get yours at rmhhomelottery.com.au for that life-changing moment.
The lowdown around town.
Robot Building Supplies, now delivering contact-free. Visit robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
It's better than good.
Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy.
This is the halftime break, GMHBA Stadium, and the Bombers lead by 34 points. They are at 8:56. Gold Coast 3-4-22. Jake Stringer's done the damage. He kicked 3 in that first half. Guelphy has a couple. This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools, X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy as I head towards Ross Lyon at halftime. And the Bombers were very, very good in that quarter. They kicked 6 goals to 1. And Jake Stringer, as I said, did all the damage.
Yeah, 100% out of the middle. He was electric. He was clean. He was powerful on the kick. But on the statistically, which true, get to, it's pretty even inside 50s. But really, Essendon just scored at will. The Gold Coast defence, there was a couple of umpiring-free decisions, but I think they were there holding the jumper. And really simply, because they were able to get it in there relatively quickly, there was more one-on-one aerial contests, and the ball was brought to ground, and the wave runners, the ones who come front and square like Guelphy and Devon Smith, were just able to pick up crumbs. And often Essendon had a spare, what I saw on the vision was Essendon had a spare player at the front and square, so they outnumbered them, which is a bit about work rate and getting back and helping your defence. So I wouldn't have thought Stuart Dew would be thrilled with the half forwards and the Gold Coast midfielders, their ability to fold back and support their defence. And at the other end, it was the opposite way. Gold Coast had they kicked 1, 2 or 14 entries. They had 2 or 3 forward 50 disposals compared to Essendon's 20. So Essendon got back in numbers, but I think what allowed that, and here's we get the distinct styles. At the start of the game, Essendon, go quick, go long, go quick chain, take ground and get it in there. Gold Coast methodical, control the ball, build up. Now, on a narrow ground, Geelong do it well, but they know the ground inside out. So it was windy. So if you're building it up slow in the wind and you're zigging, well, you can fold back. You can get back on them. Then you go in and your forward 50 is crowded, which is what we saw. And I think that's the distinct difference. And Tuke Miller and Ferroni went missing for that quarter, and Merritt and Parrish really got to work. So, and then really simply, you used to talk about weight of numbers gets it done. Out of the 22 or 18, let's talk about the 18 on the ground. 17 can fight 18. 16 can fight 18. 15 can fight. But once you get to around 14 fighting 18 or 13, I reckon that's about the number. I think Gold Coast have got too many players. You go, where have they been? And they're not really fighting for their spot on the bus, that weight of numbers. So when people talk about momentum in AFL footy, what is it? Well, you've got more players executing their role and giving great effort than the opposition, for whatever reason. I'm not into the reasons, but I think that's what happened in that quarter, and the style of play really suited Essendon, and typically Essendon can't defend. So it tells you Gold Coast, they're 18th or 17th defence, so it tells you Gold Coast have been slow and methodical with the ball, and Essendon have been able to get back and haven't been exposed like they previously do.
You spoke about the size of the ground and the width, and it's a very skinny ground, and you said that the fast ball movement is what works, and it worked against Geelong yesterday early. The Saints kicked the first 5 goals. It was helter-skelter. It was get the footy and get as many handballs forward and run and carry with the football. Geelong were under extreme pressure until they slowed the game right down and then got it back on their terms.
Yeah, you're 100%. And the other thing, Brown, and I'm not sort of blowing wind up your trumpet here, but your analysis the week before against Geelong when GWS beat them. And I noticed Essendon, as much as they're going quick, when they get some flow, you get it in between, but that little hit up around half forward rather than that long, slow entry where you get roll-off help, I think Essendon have done that really well, either by hand or foot. So that stringer goal early in the first quarter, Merritt come out, he could have just dumped it in long, but he lowered his eyes, hitting up through half forward. Even though it went to the feeder stringer, he was then able to pick it up and kick the goal. So they're making him defend, and it's the way you've got to hit up through half forward on this ground, and you've got to get it in between the lines. So I think Essendon have done that really well.
Is this a team good enough to make any headway if they do make finals at the moment? I saw Matty Lloyd the other night said he didn't think they were ready at the moment, but you see the Giants are coming good at the right end of the year. They look like they could do some damage. Not sure about the Bombers.
Yeah, the only question I got on the Bombers is when they played Sydney, they were in front at half-time and it looked okay. But over the course of the season, their pattern is they don't defend. And I remember saying at half-time, Sydney are like 2 goals off or 10 points. As soon as they get some even on entries, they'll score, or if they get on top, they'll score. And that's exactly what happened. So I think they're a work in progress. They could get in and they could get you on a day because of how they play. But I think the good teams will be able to defend them well enough and create opportunities that the Bombers can't defend yet.
Ash, Triple M Red Z lending stats from the first half?
Well, the inside 50s are 33-26 Essendon's way, but disposals inside the forward 50, 13-13 the Bombers' way. They've taken 6 marks inside their attacking 50 Essendon. Suns only the one.
13-13 or 13 to
30-13.
30-13.
Yeah, disposals inside 50. And the strength for Essendon, scored some stoppages, ranked 3rd this year. Today they've posted 4-4-28 to the Suns at 2-1-13. Stringer, as Duck mentioned, number 1 rated player of the past 8 weeks. Well, he's number 1 ranked player today. So far, 10 disposals, 3 centre clearances and 3 majors. Parrish with 17 and 5 clearances. Merritt 16. Spoke about Hind Brown. He's picked up 13 along with 250 plus metres gained. McGrath, 5 possessions, but he's only played 67% of the game. And for the Suns, Miller and Fiorini, they've had 16 apiece, but in the first quarter combined they had 23. In the second quarter, just the 9 touches.
Which is, and I think that's the thing. They take a lot of uncontested marks, don't they? Like, I think they took 26 uncontested marks and then 7, so they don't touch it much. But probably for mine, it's getting beaten by what you know. Like Stringer, you know what he does. He runs forward out of the middle. He's a goal kicker. I just can't believe they haven't matched him up. And you talk about GWS and Liam Cameron. I think they're doing a lot right, but they're taking out the opposition's best player. They're not getting beaten by what they know.
Choice Hotels around the grounds. Need a break? Book direct and save with Choice Hotels, choicehotels.com.
Brownie, 4 minutes remaining before full time, and it's the Demons 13-8-86 leading the Crows by 29 points, 8-9-57.
This is the halftime segment for Amy Clangers. Amy Clangers, who covers Clangers? Amy does. Lucky you're with Amy. Pre-game, we were treated to one of our major sponsors. McDonald's brought some stuff in for their 50 years, and Ross forgot that maybe the microphones are always close.
I'm going to take a break here. Quickly, Choice Hotels around the grounds.
Yeah, it's Melbourne getting the job done over Adelaide, currently up by 28 points. 6-4-40, currently leading Adelaide 1-6-12 midway through the second quarter.
You want to know what that noise in the background? That was Ross devouring a thick shake at world record pace.
Just right into the thick shake. This is the halftime break for Bosch Power Tools, X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy. Always good to have Ross on a Sunday. The Bombers lead by 34 points. For McDonald's Room Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for X-Lock Tools and Accessories by Bosch. Extra fast, extra safe and extra easy.
For Ream Hot Water and Macca's 50th birthday,
Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
G'day, it's Xavier Ellis. Hi, it's Embers. Straight after this game, Triple M rocks footy.
join the Temper Mattress call team for a massive Western Derby. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Even after 50 years, we're still celebrating the classics at Macca's. So for our birthday, why not take our iconic taste to the next level? Party with a double quarter pounder, Filet-O fish, McChicken or Big Mac today. Available after 10:30am.
G'day, Howie here. If you're a sports fanatic like me, then have a listen to my podcast, The Howie Games, where I sit down with the biggest names in sport, like Masters winner Adam Scott, NBA champion Luke Longley, and surfing gun Sally Fitzgibbons, to ask them how they started out and how they've picked themselves up after their biggest losses. Brought to you by Seek. The best job ads find the best people. Search the Howie Games podcast. Download the new Listener app now and listen for free.
Listener.
Harvey Norman factory outlets now open. Dandenong, Richmond and Epping. Full of manufacturer's seconds, ex-display stock, scratch and dent, and end-of-line run-out models. TVs, fridges, washers, cookers, and everything for that kitchen reno. All the big brands. Smeg, Asco, Fisher & Paykel, Westinghouse, LG, Whirlpool, and Hisense, just to name a few. Bring a ute or bring your trailer. New stock arriving daily. Look for the big green building. Harvey Norman factory outlets. 3 locations. Dandenong, Richmond and Epping.
Sparkies. Beacon Trade is here to support you. Open from 7:30 weekdays with special trade prices, free delivery and a huge range of lights, fans and electrical accessories at over 100 Beacon stores.
Chances are you've already heard a sports gambling ad today. Maybe there's even one coming up. It's enough to make you think everyone's doing it. And that's what you're expected to think. It's just not true. That's why every AFL team in Victoria and over 400 local clubs have joined us in saying no to sports gambling sponsorship. So what are you waiting for? Join the club. ilovethegame.vic.gov.au.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. During the lockdown, all our Melbourne stores are open for both trade and contactless pickup 7 days a week. Yes, all National Tiles Melbourne stores are open for both trade and contactless pickup 7 days a week. As best we can, National Tiles is continuing to support Melbourne's trade and retail tile buyers during the lockdown. National Tiles, trade and contactless pickup at all our Melbourne stores 7 days a week.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
G'day, it's Xavier Ellis. Hi, it's Embers. Straight after this game, Triple M rocks footy.
Join the Temper Mattress call team for a massive Western Derby. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Now you can stream Triple M footy wherever you are. Download the Listener app and select Triple M.
Hi there, Emma Griffiths to the news briefing. 1 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine are on their way down under, with the jab secured from Poland. Prime Minister Scott Morrison says they're on their way right now on a plane from Dubai.
These doses are on top of the 40 million Pfizer doses that Australia has already contracted to be delivered, and of course will be ramping up again significantly in the fourth quarter of this year.
They'll then head straight to Greater Sydney, prioritised for those aged 20 to 39 years old and into arms this week. 415 new cases in New South Wales today, while the state's being warned to prepare for more deaths as infections soar. 4 people succumbed to the virus in the last 24 hours, bringing the total since the start of the outbreak to 48. To Victoria now, a stern message from the Premier, with cases still too high for restrictions to ease. 25 new infections today, 4 of those remain a mystery. Daniel Andrews has taken aim at those breaking the rules, including a takeaway pub crawl organised on social media.
A pub crawl, an impromptu or pre-planned, but a pub crawl, and that's what it was in Richmond last night, is not worth it.
A donut day for Queensland, and no new cases in WA, but 4 active cases remain in the state. Premier Mark McGowan says crew members from the Daria Krishna bulk carrier continue to battle the virus.
Hopefully the ship itself will sail very shortly. They're working out ways of achieving that outcome.
At Amart Furniture, shop online and spend $4.99 on a huge range to receive $50 off your order. Hurry, it's for a limited time. Shop online with Amart today.
Getting down to 10 degrees tonight, a shower or 2 tomorrow, 15 the top, a shower or 2 for Tuesday, 14. And to stream every minute of footy live this weekend, wherever you are, download the Listener app and select Triple M Melbourne 105.1.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
Essendon are leading this one at half-time. They led by 0 because she was all square at quarter time. What's the margin at half-time here, Nath?
34 points out.
34-point lead to the Bombers. You boys are just having a bit of a chat
Fritz
about...
is about to line up for his 7th. He had 4 2 minutes ago. He's going to kick the last 3 in 3 minutes, and we started talking about Australia.
Yeah, we've been talking about the permutations and connotations of what possibly could happen, Brownie, and it's a difficult task that they have. For me, Toby Green's a lock.
At half forward, yes.
At half forward. I think...
Harry Mackay, centre half forward for me.
Harry Mackay, not centre half forward. He hasn't played there all year, Brownie, but he'd be the full forward.
Well, I think Tom Hawkins would be the full forward.
No, I think Tom would be centre half for me because he sets more of the play up, whereas Mackay's more of a stay-at-home full forward.
Let's just call them rotating centre half full forwards.
Well, let's not, because one can do stuff up the ground.
They're just key forwards now.
One does stuff up the ground.
Power forward.
So Petrarca on the other flank?
I'd have, and once again, the tricky part that we spoke about is just bringing midfielders onto the wings and then to half forward, and sometimes you even throw one at half back if you have to. It is hard. I do think Fritsch is in the conversation. He'll probably get in that magical thing called a squad.
He's just kicked his 7th.
Yeah, but I would say that, does he squeeze himself in on the back of because of this game? That's the question. Was it already fundamentally picked in the selectors' mind?
I reckon the team's already picked.
Do you?
So if already.
But I just don't see a crumbing forward at the moment that is deserved. I think Papley's had an okay year, but not an All-Australian year. No, he's not. And you look through all the other small forwards, and I think you're going to have to fill it with probably midfielders more resting.
Charlie Cameron kicked 6 last night, but I don't think that he's had a period where he's been really quiet. So
I agree.
Well, where does Stringer sit? What is he?
Well, Stringer see, Stringer's the one. Stringer could certainly play as another forward if you. So imagine Stringer, Petrarca, Green. So they're your sort of small to mid-sized forwards.
You'd like kicking them down the race, wouldn't you? Have a great day, boys. I'll see you at the end of quarter time when the whistle goes.
And then your Keys, Hawkins and Mackay.
So I'll go through some of the goal scorers for smaller players. So the first one on the list is Bailey Fritsch, who now has 46, who's more of a medium size. Charlie Cameron, with his 6 last nights, gets to 44. Then you've got Toby Green, 41, and Tom Papley's kick, 38. McDonald Tippermoody, 34. Luke Bruce, 33. So out of that list, you probably have to look at a Jake Stringer, who, how many goals has Jake kicked? 32 this year so far.
Well, you got to pick the All-Australian team on the modern structure. That midfield who's really a forward, that high forward mid.
Yeah,
Don't you like Martin, Petraka?
Yeah.
Electricians, builders, Beacon Trades got you back. Open early at 7:30am with over 100 stores around Australia and a dedicated trade team. Special trade prices, click and collect, and free shipping on all orders. Beacon Trades, every tradies go to for lights, fans, electrical accessories, and expert advice. Here we go. Underway with Essendon leading by 34 points to begin the second half. Townsend just belts the ball forward. Race into Redmond, getting close towards the line. Somehow manages to keep it in. Redmond nearly loses his strides in the process. Ridley hacks it out. Touch ball. So Essendon working in their defensive area. Free kick. And it's going the way ahead. Well, Bob Jane, Mickey R.
Yeah, Townsend's taking the tough pills. Fair dinkum. He's just gone nuts. But anyway, just giving away another 50. The Lemons is the one. Sean Lemons is the one. He actually, they worked on his knee, had a knee knock, and he's also come out heavily strapped on the quad, the right side. Just before half-time, they had him on the bike. So see how mobile he is in this second half.
Just looking at Lemons, Robbo, has he got a sour look on his face or not?
Yeah, I was going to go with that.
He's a sour bastard.
I decided, Howie, you take that one.
All right, Bob Jane teammates buy 3, get 1 free. Instant cash back on Bridgestone Commercial and Pirelli's. BobJane.com.au. Stringer! Have a look at this man, Duck. You're talking all Australian. Surely he's in there as he lines up for his 4th.
Well, number 1 ranked player for the last 8 weeks, Howie. So it tells you how well he's going.
Yes. Well, look at the lack of the corner. They've got Tuke Miller standing 1-on-1 on Jakey Stringer 15 metres from goal. They deserve what they got there. Their ability to work together and roll over tall defenders was at a low level, the Gold Coast.
Let's take it out to a game-high 40-point margin. Stringer's kicked 3. What a season this man is having. Re-signed at the Bombers and repaying the faith. Jake has got 4 and he's pumped about it too. Chest out, biceps flexed. It's the Drake Stringer show on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. She's now a 40-point margin supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours. Trade prices, click and collect, and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores. 40 points to good the Bombers. Just before we get to Ross and Duck, it is all over at the MCG, Chewy.
It is. Melbourne 16-8-104 defeated the Crows by 39 points, 9-9-63. Bailey Fritsch, career high 7 majors.
7 for the
7
Fritcher.
majors, 46 for the year now.
So 40-point margin. And Stringer had a shot just before half-time, then fumbled one. Could very well have 6.
What's he got? 4.
4 majors, yep.
Gee, but that's really low-level leadership organisation by the Gold Coast. Tuke Miller, you know, he works his ass off midfield. Stringer's taken him forward. He would have ran past 4 or 5 defenders, and they just haven't helped.
McDonald's his 50th birthday, so try one of their classic double burgers today, as we did pre-game, Duck.
Yeah, delicious.
Stringer out of the middle, almost fell over, good enough to get the handball to Merritt. Went with an underground ball. Miller broke it up, got the ball out to Sharp. Miller kept running, sweeping handball back to that man Miller. Ainsworth is on now, but he misses him with the handball. Stringer came in, tap towards Merritt. Merritt, good tackle laid on the ground level now, and the ball not coming out. We'll have a ball up. It's on centre wing.
All square at quarter time. Essendon by 34 at the half. She's now out to a 40-point margin. Jakey Stringer has kicked 4 and lit this whole operation up, which is what we need on a lazy Sunday afternoon. Hine sweeps the ball out. Here come the Bombers again through Smith. They're building well. Francis Lemons gets him a little bit high. Advantage paid. I tell you what, Stringer's going to have 5 in a moment. Oh, hits the upright. Disappointing for Bomber fans. 63-22. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It's an excitement machine, Jake Stringer. He was at that stoppage at half-back. He was the first one forward having a shot at goal, and the Suns move the ball into the back pocket and they find Collins. Collins, short ball back across the goal, he's defending, and he finds Farah. Farah back to Collins. Collins, handball. Swallow on the bounce. Lemons back on the field. Good to see that. Back to Miller, mucking around with the footy. Collins, his third touch in the chain. Now they've given it up, the Bombers. Back to the Bombers, I should say. Guelphy, Snelling. Snelling's got a couple of players in ball. One of those is Parrish. Parrish from 55. And he sees Clark and he delivers. They just mucked around with a duck.
Well, this is their problem today, Gold Coast for mine. When they've done the kicking out, they've gone chipped it into the pocket, and then they've tried to chip their way out of defence.
Well, Collins can defend, but he can't. He's not a very good kick.
But you don't have to. You don't have to chip your way out of defence anymore.
But that's the game style. So you're saying to Collins, well, he should be kicking along like Mickey Martin, but he's trying to thread the eye of the needle, and that's what happened.
For some reason, Devon Smith called for the ball around the back, and Clark gave it to him 40 metres out directly in front, put him under pressure, and Devon Smith kicked it behind to the Bombers. Come on, Devon.
Devon. You step on your sandwich.
Yeah, with sauce. Beautiful.
Sauce, and a bit of cheese dough.
No cheese. Just
no cheese for you. Do you ever have the old chicken loaf? I don't know how much chicken was ever involved.
Oh, I love the chicken loaf, yeah.
As the Bombers run through half back.
Get the premium chicken breast now.
The old chicken loaf.
Moved up in the world, Duck.
Snelling's got it, half back. What did you used to have for lunch at school, Rossi? What did you wind out in your part of the world?
My mum was very good. Yeah, I had a real variety. Did you? Had the homemade cakes, and then she used to do the roast chickens.
By the way,
they're very popular. It's particularly high school that my mum's roast chicken sandwiches. Yes.
I had none of the loaf or that. I had stale bread with a bit of Vegemite on it.
I loved a bit of corned beef. And a bit weird, corned beef.
I had Vegemite.
Pickled onion.
Corned beef and pickled onion as the Gold Coast move inside. If you don't worry, you're not missing anything as we're discussing potential lunches.
Well, what do you have, Howie?
I got stuck in a real rut of salami and cheese for about 4 years.
Oh, well, it's a nice rut to be stuck in.
A couple of slices of cucumber.
On the Vienna loaf, was it? Or you'd have the white tip-top?
No, she was a tip-top operation in the Howard household.
You wouldn't have had too much Vienna loaf up at Traralgon.
No,
not that.
That's right. No fancy stuff up there in Tyres.
Not too much Lebanese bread or anything like that.
You're not a big eater, are you?
Well, I was then, but I think I had too much salami and cheese, to be honest. As Anderson wedges the ball forward. What were you into, Nate?
Vegemite sandwiches.
You would have been having a cone with your...
Just a bogan in Bendigo.
And you would have had a couple of balls on one.
10.5 forward. Chop of the footy. Townsend inside forward 50. Good kick. And Sexton marks it. Marks on his chest, 25 out directly in front. He looks like he wants to snap it.
He does.
Dispute that, did you, Nate?
Hey?
You didn't dispute that.
Oh, look, you had to make your own way in Bendigo, whatever rolled. So Sexton, imaginably very similar to Wagga Wagga.
Well, I saw you scoffing the pies this morning, Granny. That wasn't inside.
So Alex Sexton, you had to kick a goal. 20 goals from 19 games this year. Loves a goal, this man. Second only to Devon Smith, and he pulls it through for one behind. Bad miss. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting Sparky. 7:30 a.m. opening hours. Trade prices, click and collect, free delivery. Over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
And Sexton is known for his finishing. That's an unusual miss for him.
Yep, 64-23. The Suns trail in Geelong. If you can get your head around that. Draper, nice contested mark in front of Ballard.
Strong, isn't he? He's an exciting prospect for the Bombers.
Where's he come from?
Sandful, South Adelaide.
Oh, okay.
He's kicking
205 centimetres, 105 kilos. He's a big boy, Snelling, a little boy. Now Clark, Stringer again. Go back and have a shot, Jake, just so he can get up. You'll have to kick it from 52, but this is the end with the win behind him, Robbo, Bob Jones style.
Dropped a lot, Howie, dropped a lot. So it's, as you know, it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, tends to do that down the coast, so it's dropped a little. But Stringer, what's he got now? 4? Has he got 4 going for
4?
Yeah, could make it.
Down there, by
downhill this end.
Okay, that'll help. Get free, instant cash back, Continental Pirelli and many more. BobJane.com here. So this is Stringer for 5. We'll get up. Oh, he goes a short past us, Jake. He manufactures it perfectly to Waterman, but it'd be fair to say in the box we were hoping he had a shot there, Noodles.
Yep.
It was fair to say pre-signing the contract he might have a pin there, but that selflessness was outstanding.
Very good play. Has he been All-Australian before? He has he, Chewy? Jake Stringer back in the Premiership?
He has, 2015.
Okay, so they're before the Premiership.
And that's what clubs, like, it's so hard on clubs. They identify him, they recruit him, they Premiership, and he's a star, and then because they're maturing, you lose that talent out of your club. It's heartbreaking, really, if you're a Bulldogs.
Waterman, this man is a good kick for goal.
Yep.
Oh, have a look at that duck. Splits the middle on a real tight angle. And the Bombers have got their 10th, 10-10-70. And Gold Coast 3-5-23. And Jake Stringer with the Wayne Carey theory just smiles because he set up a teammate, giving him a lift.
Absolutely, and it does. It makes you feel good when you do that. You don't have to kick him yourself. And just on Stringer, just looking, so 2015, 16, 17, equal in 17. He led the goal kicking with the Bulldogs. And 18 and 19 at Essendon, and not currently leading it this year. But that man there, Waterman, that just kicked that one, I like him. He's a really nice finisher. He has a go, and I keep getting reminded that his dad took Mark of the Year on me in
1993 elimination final.
And just
can we get that up, Ash, on YouTube or something?
Further to the gifting the goal away, Wayne. So we did the Harvard, the leadership course. It's the brain science. So the person who gives the gift gets greater satisfaction than the person receiving it.
This is what you learned at Harvard.
That was one of the things. You can't give away everything. It cost the club about 20 grand to spend.
What a wonderful opportunity.
That's why we give it to the church every week, Ross, the Planet Shakers. Draper in the middle of the ground. The big boy, big kick inside forward 50. Where are the Flyers? Francis will be one of them. 1-2, couldn't quite mark it. Bowes at ground level. Got the handball out to Sexton. Missed an easy one a couple of moments ago. Out to Jeffrey. Wobbly ball. He sets the task. He said there's no one to kick it to. I'm going to kick it into space. It's a foot race. And the Suns won it. Corbett closes and then misses.
The freak from the creek.
That should have been a goal.
Well, he was just overstriding and didn't balance up, did he?
Two-man's getting as the Waterman mark up. Nathan will call it for you, give you a feel for what actually happened. But we haven't quite got there yet. G-Man's on some unusual videos that were already penciled in on his browser. I'm not sure that's quite appropriate for the football.
Yeah, what is that you got bookmarked there, Chip?
Apple.
This is Tuesday.
Half back.
It's actually more on Jakovic than me. Both of us.
Have you seen it?
I saw it. It's pretty good.
He's sitting on your face, Wayne.
Yeah.
That's how high he was. Both his knees were in your head.
Notice how my head was still up, though, Brownie.
No.
Yeah.
Looks like Jakovic sort of just handled it.
Now, the Essendon Footy Club are trying to get it across half back. No one believes
he's the best in the world at keeping his head up when someone's taking a hanger on him.
He is better at having a hanger on him than Jerker Jenkins. That's how good our man Duck is. As the Bombers just chop it round the back pocket in the hands of Cutler. Every time I see him, it's hard not to say he's a fine-looking physical specimen.
I reckon Gary Lyon had me covered for get the mark taken on him.
Gary Pert.
Well, he had Sean Smith and Farmer take one to him.
Yeah, good
his
point.
own teammates.
Both Garys are pretty good at it. Smith delays and then stops. You rarely see that.
Oh,
had enough time to hit Snell. He stopped for 3 seconds, Ross.
Oh, at a minimum. That's bad signs. You're right, you rarely see that. And you know what? You shouldn't see that at AFL level.
Ash, we're about to kick off in the other game. Is there any late change for Fremantle?
Come back to you very shortly, Brownie, but you're spot on, not far away from encounter number 53 between these two sides.
In the end, it was passed off again into the hands from Snelling to Parrish, and gee whiz, the pressure's really sucked out of this one now.
Yep.
This could blow out to a 100-pointer. There's a long way to go. It's 70-24, but it's not looking good for the Suns, and Parrish has hooked it from behind. So it's 10-11, 71 to the Gold Coast 3-6-24. Yes, Ross?
Like, I love the M's, and, you know, I catch what I can, and I call it early GWS and the Cats, and the Cats kicked the first goal, and the Chief went off with, geez, this is bad-looking signs. Did you hold him to account on that?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, nice.
He's a hard man to hold to account.
Turnover back inside forward 50 for the Bombers. The Suns at ground level. Able to get it to Ballard and thwart the danger. Into the pocket, Lukosius.
He's an imposing man, the Chief.
Short ball, nice one, and a one-handed grab out there by Anderson. Made it look nice. The derby over there, you know Fremantle better than anyone, Ross. No Fife. No Brayshaw. I just think it sets up for Monday to have a stack of it, playing more midfield time.
Yeah, it's all... Look, and the Eagles, they've got their best, strongest team in for a while. I'm worried for the Dockers a little bit on this one. No Walters, no Fife. But Monday, you know, one of the great leaders, I think Cherrill will step up, you know, Sean Darcy. But, gee, they need a really even contribution here.
Suns running through the middle of the ground in Powell. Dropping ball forward. Laverde picks the pocket of King, who's had a really quiet afternoon, Chewy.
It's been good, Laverde.
Yeah, 4 possessions are scoreless for King.
Wright's down the back line at the moment. I saw a unique approach from Chief yesterday, something I've never seen before. I'll explain to you in a moment, Ross. Ridley, now Hine, little chipping ball forward. Snelling has not got the required distance. And the Bombers eventually drop a long ball towards the outer wing. It's tight on the boundary line and somehow stays in. So we can't quite get to that Chiefs story yet. Still they're moving it down the outer side, the Gold Coast Suns. Dev Smith eventually takes it across. So the Fox were trying to organise a social media video to put out on Fox Footy to celebrate the Chiefs' birthday with Gary Lyon, wishing him a happy birthday. He did it a couple of times, and every time the video was started to be recorded on the phone of the producer, the Chief would let fly with a string of profanities, knowing that if he continued to swear throughout the entire production, it could never go to air. He did that 3 or 4 times and stymied the video.
I like it.
Quite clever from the Chief.
I like it.
71 plays 24 here. Essendon leading the Gold Coast Suns.
And how did the producer and Fox take that?
Well, they couldn't do anything about it because the Chief's the Chief.
He's one of their key operators.
He is their key operator, alongside Gary and Nick and Jono.
And
it's the Corbett at half forward.
Rui
puts the ball out in front of Anderson. Anderson was
Joey
tackled as he went to ground.
Hutto, Dwayno.
Sexton, a high ball, top of the square, 1-on-1. Jeffrey, can he mark it? No. Fisted away. The Bombers with an opportunity to pick it up. Ridley was okay, had to be clean, and he was to Guelphy. Then Guelphy got ridden into the ground, and he'll get a free kick, and the umpire calls play on. Cutler, half back. A low darting right foot ball looking for Waterman, fisted away. And the ball almost went out of bounds. And Farah does take it out.
Triple M Red Z Brownie. Essendon only 4 more entries inside 50, but the marks inside 50 at 12-2. The Bombers waiting for Choice Hotels. Teams as selected out in the west. Medical subs Bewley for Freo, Langdon for West Coast.
Bewley. Triple M Seabus Supers delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus for all of us. You got Carey and you've got a Lion. That's your Nat 5 Matthew Pavlich style combination. Sharp looks inboard and a risky ball. It really hangs up in the air. McGrath arrives late, as does Smith. Now gives it to Redmond. Can hit a target inside 50 with a low sizzler. That's the kick of the match and hits Waterman, who kicked the last goal. What about that, Rossi boy?
Well, that was an electric finish. And Waterman on the lead. If that goes in long and high, Collins wins that. But not many can defend that anyway. But you give yourself 60-40 your way getting on the lead. But that long switch into the corridor on a windy day just invites turnover. And that's exactly what happened. And Redmond had a great year. He's hard, he's tough, he runs, maybe a little bit slow, but he makes up for it with his aggression.
Adam Millicent, I think he might be from a fishing background, Ross. Maybe they get
a lot of crays, yeah. So if parents are listening, they might be able to put some on ice and send them over.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Waterman bends it back into the breeze. In the end, doesn't quite make the distance.
We actually met his parents, him and his father. The Dockers targeted him, and we thought we were a good chance to get him. You're right, outstanding.
Right, and in the crayfish caper, are they?
Yeah, that's how I sort of just helped run with that with you.
Okay. I think Millicent might be the sort of crayfishing capital of the country in some ways.
Over near Road, is it?
That's it, yeah, somewhere in South Australia.
Near Marrickport, Lockie Neal territory over there.
Yeah.
Road, the ghost lives at Jimmy Jess.
Lemons.
Nate's obviously had enough of this conversation.
I think the listeners have as well. Ballard. It was beautiful work on the Seabus Supers by Ross, doing a great job, delivering consistent long-term return for members. Seabus for all of us. Almost a turnover. Soccer into the goal square. Oh. Ballard making a meal of it almost. And then he gets tackled by Guelphy and the ball goes out of bounds.
Thanks, guys. Shut up.
Delivering consistent long-term members, I was saying. Seabus for all of us. Ross Lyon, Wayne Carey. It's like your early day Docker, Stephen O'Reilly, Clive Waterhouse combination.
DJ Clive.
Who do you want to be, Duck?
Clive.
So Stringer lays a tackle of a ball up.
Just more natural flair.
Yeah. Ended up a board member, Stephen O'Reilly. I'll take that. Lovely man.
20 metres out from the Bombers' goal.
They lead at 70-24. Jake Stringer's kick 4.
Did he play at the Dockers? He must have, didn't he?
Stephen O'Reilly.
Yeah, so
it was the big signing.
Went to
Geelong, Carlton, Dockers.
Big fly in the back from D. Heppel. The man from Leongatha, home of the Parrots in the green and gold. It's the local footy club there, the Parrots.
Is it?
They wear the green and yellow. Roughy country too. Leongatha. Used to play in the LVFL, but it's all changed up that way now.
Well, Ruffy's a publican down there. I think he's in one of those venues down there.
Big fist away from Collins. Now McPherson grabs the ball in his defensive 50. Hine loves some speed. Look at this man, Nick Hines. Nate said he is the recruit of the year, and he's got his first. Has marvellous Nick. And it's the Bombers 11th, 11-11-77 to the Gold Coast 3-6-24. She's out to a game high 53. This is a blowout now, Robbo. This is a real big blowout.
They've lost the plot, Gold Coast.
Right.
Seriously, turnovers through the corridor off half-back, the whole lot. They're trying to choke it, but they can't. They're just picking the eyes out of it. And you can see heads are down on the boundary here for the Gold Coast, and everyone's standing up at the Bombers. They know there's blood in the water. There's a kill here, and they're just surviving. And got Collingwood next week. They'll win that and a chance to play in the finals.
Well, if we look at the Harvey Norman replay here, as Hind gathers this ball and runs away from the pack, there's 5 Gold Coast players that don't take a step forward to chase him. Here we go. They will just peel away. Lukosius just steps away and then puts his hand out like, gee whiz. It want to be an interesting review come Monday.
Yeah, it's pretty soft going for the Bombers at the moment. Pumping 53-point leaders over the Fremantle Dockers. For Ream and McDonald's, we rock footy. Merritt, Parrish. That's been a combination you've heard a lot this year. Out wide to Durham. Hind runs, Merritt on all 4 haunches in the middle.
I reckon Took Miller might have run into Merritt. I want to see the Harvey Norman brownie, but he's up now.
Hind kicked the last goal, pumps it inside forward 50, fisted away. Boundary throw-in.
Gee, man, how many years have the Gold Coast Suns been in the competition? What's their winning percentage, and what's their highest ever finish on the ladder?
Sure. So they entered the comp in 2011, so this would be their 11th season.
Right.
Come back to their win-loss record.
Okay. They trailed 77-24. They got close at one stage when Ablett was on fire, Nate. Then he hurt his shoulder and they fell in a heap after that. But gee, there'd be much joy for Sun supporters as Shield wobbles the ball forward. Collins, he's tried hard all day. He's a quality footballer and goes across the line. Chewy, what do you got on the Gold Coast?
26% is their win-loss record, Howie. The highest position they've finished on the ladder was Guy McKenna's last year, where they registered 10 wins and they finished 12th on the ladder.
26%, so they win 1 game in 4.
Yep.
Could you benchmark them against GWS for us, Chew, in a minute? Just tell me what there, if you think apples to apples, 2 expansion teams.
Good call, Rossi.
Boundary throw in, Shield. Dances around, got the hands free. Hind, back to Redmond. Redmond, high ball back inside forward 50, but he's put it out into the stand.
Jeez. GWS 55%, Ross.
And a grand final appearance.
Yep.
Have they played the finals yet, the Suns? No.
No, they haven't.
That is frustrating, I think, for the whole of the AFL football.
Maybe Tasmania should take their licence. Ball towards centre wing. Tackle late out there. The Bombers working overtime at the moment. Redmond, he's got Parrish, gives it to him. The 1-2 was inventive and he wants to get around another one, but he's not going to Big Mason. Big Mason's brought to the ground. Eventually, the umpire gave him an eternity to get rid of that. And it's out of bounds.
That might be all right, but you had the CEO of the AFL saying that will not happen, and you had the Premier of Tassie saying they don't ever want that to happen. So I don't see any chance of...
Oh, they don't want a relocated team.
I'm saying take it off Gold Coast and create your own team down in Tasmania.
And Gill said that definitely will not happen.
Yes.
Gold Coast is safe, and the Premier says they don't want a relocation team.
Oh, it's a growth corridor.
It's a double whammy.
You need a team up on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, it all depends what your metric is. Is it about them win-losses or it's participation rates and infrastructure and ovals, and AFLW have had a big impact as well. So
absolutely
keep the presence.
And the ball's not going anywhere centre wing. Stewart gets a hand pass out towards Merritt. He gets it towards Redmond. Looping hand pass from Redmond. It's 77-24, the lead of the Bombers, who go inside 50. They hit Waterman, but he can't take the mark. The reason I brought it up is because we'll walk away today and think, oh, yeah, Gold Coast got belted again. It's not like Carlton got belted or St Kilda got rolled or Hawthorn got nailed. So, oh, yeah, Gold Coast get belted again. So there's no issue, and on we roll.
Yeah, you're right. There's no real passion.
No.
Oh, no, I think soul's too strong a word, because there's a lot of good people working hard, and look, their players get raided. I think somehow you've got to be able to keep them together and give them more resources and more soft cap.
Fiorini launches from the defensive end, but only as far as Merritt on centre wing. Sweeps the ball. Another one, chipping into the middle, finds Clark.
Geez, I reckon Nathan Buckley has a head overseeing it support. I know Voss is, but he'd be superb on the Gold Coast.
Chain of handballs ends up with Parrish. They pump it in again. Trying to take the mark was Draper, front of the pack. was Rowell, and it goes through for a rush behind in the end. This game's not serving up much entertainment at the moment. 11-12, 78, 3-6, 24. The Bombers in control.
You would love to see them have some success, but gee, it seems a long way off, Ross.
Yeah, like when you see the quality of GWS kids coming through, you know. So I think we see some of their players like there's a Corbett or whatever, you know, out of Fish Creek and that. But you're thinking they're not going to be like a Taylor from GWS and those young players that they've got coming through, you know.
Around the grounds?
Around the grounds, it's 1 goal straight apiece between Freo and the Eagles early in the first. But just with the Brisbane Bears, when they were playing their home games on the Gold Coast.
Yes, Rossi. Chewy.
Their win-loss record is 25% between 87 to 1992. So Suns at 26, Bears were at 25.
You're putting it down to a Gold Coast, which no sporting team has really done well there. The Titans have struggled there. The Gold Coast Clowns in the NBL, they didn't ever go that well.
Gold Coast Clowns.
I don't think that's what they were called.
Talk about self-perpetuating. How's that marketing exercise?
That's my point. No one's really had a great deal of success there. As Francis marks it just half forward.
Intimidating.
It wasn't actually their name.
The Gold Coast Rollers?
Well, that's my point. It's seen as a Bermuda Triangle for elite sporting teams, except for Southport, who are a fantastic footy club up there.
A little bit similar to Vegas, Howard.
Yeah, that's it. Bose. And he gets as far as Clark. And now
what was the Rollers?
What was the Rollers, and what did they change their name to?
The Cougars.
Well, that's not going to work out for you, is it? You can't roll as the Cougars.
They're more intimidating than Rollers.
I think the Clowns is better than the Cougars. As Gold Coast take possession through the man by the name of Fiorini at centre half back. But if you're a young Gold Coast player and you see Tom Lynch leave and he's a premiership player and he's playing in front of 90,000, Ross, it's not fair. How do you compete with that?
Well, you can't.
You can't. That's right, you can't. What do you think, Duck?
Yeah, no, it's very difficult, Howie. I guess a lot of AFL players, you wouldn't, even though these players make it to the elite level and they've dominated junior level to get there, a lot of players don't necessarily want to be great. They don't want to have accountability. A lot of these players would be happy to float along and get paid $500-600 a year and not have the scrutiny that you get at a Melbourne club or an Adelaide or a Perth club.
Yeah, that's fair. But
Gold
Brisbane
Coast
are only
United
80
in the A-League as well. Gold Coast United in the A-League didn't work.
So how'd they go?
They're out.
Right.
But Brisbane's 80 kilometres away. It's not like they're in the Bermuda Triangle. It's 80 kilometres and Brisbane can build a dynasty and come again like they have under Fagan. So it can be done.
The Bombers inside forward 50. Umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going to go to the Bombers.
Oh, after the siren.
It's going to be 5 seconds to go. And I think it's Devon Smith claiming this football.
Could get a torp here, Nath.
Well, he's 45 out, Howard, so I don't think so.
Okay.
So Devon Smith.
What's the average age today, Chew, like of both teams or experience? Because I think they've got some mitigating reasons, the Gold Coast. They've been on the road, it's difficult. Well,
come back to shortly, Ross.
So that is the siren for three-quarter time. Currently a 54-point lead to the Bombers. This to make it 10 goals even. Devon Smith, 45, gets underneath it. Good kick, Devon, and kicks the goal. 60-point margin at half-time. 84 plays 24. For McDonald's and Remote Water, Leroy's rolled the music, so we're not going to get back to Ross. Triple M, Rocks Footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Supporting Sparkies with 7:30am opening hours, trade prices, click and collect and free delivery from over 100 Beacon lighting stores.
For McDonald's,
Triple M Rocks Footy.
It's Macca's 50th birthday, so try one of their classic double burgers today. Every Victorian AFL team has said no to sports gambling sponsorship. Together, we can make sure kids get to love the game, not the odds. Triple M Rocks Footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football, and I'm back Monday morning from 6. Daisy Thomas, when was the last time the Bombers played finals?
Well, the last time they played finals wasn't a hell of a lot of the time ago, but their last win in a finals, 2004, they last won a final. Yeah. 2 years ago, they lost to West Coast, I'm pretty sure, in a final. Yeah, right. Well, you got the Google, maybe just hit that up.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6, or hear it anytime on the new Listener app.
G'day, Howie here. If you're a sports fanatic like me, then have a listen to my podcast, The Howie Games, where I sit down with the biggest names in sport, like Masters winner Adam Scott, NBA champion Luke Longley, and surfing gun Sally Fitzgibbons, to ask them how they started out and how they've picked themselves up after their biggest losses. Brought to you by Seek. The best job ads find the best people. Search the Howie Games podcast. Download the new Listener app now and listen for free.
Listener.
Australia. Meet your new McCafe blend. Smoother, richer and expertly roasted in Melbourne for Aussies who love great coffee. You know, like you. The new McCafe blend. Now that's coffee fit for an Aussie. Available at participating restaurants.
Welcome to Amy's Everyday Arena, where competitor Keith is pulling nails from the decking. Oh, the nail slips. Now he's spinning the hammer, round and round. Oh dear, not the telly! Luckily, unlike other insurers, Amy offers optional accidental damage cover on home building and contents. Who helps cover the challenges of the Everyday Arena? Amy does. Optional accidental damage at home cover is available with Amy Home Building and Contents Insurance. Exclusions apply. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS at amy.com.au.
The Renault Koleos SUV adds a little luxury to your everyday. Drive away from just $33,990. So what are you waiting for? Contact your local dealer. Renault Koleos. Life less ordinary.
When you're installing a roof, you're best to go with Stramit. But a roof is only as good as the screws that keep everything together. And only Buildex screws will do. So, enter the Fasten Up competition from Stramit and Buildex, and you and your mates could win a charter fishing trip. Fasten up with Stramit and Buildex for your chance to go fishing with your mates. Enter now on the Triple M win page.
G'day, it's Lawrence Mooney here, and I'm happy to announce that my favourite sportsbook is now your favourite podcast. That's right, check out Saturday Afternoon Fever on the Listener app, as myself and the author Matthew Hardy bring this hilarious, tragic and triumphant best-selling favourite to life. So laugh along with us on the Listener app.
Every Victorian AFL team has said no to sports gambling sponsorship. Together, we can make sure kids get to love the game, not the odds. Triple M rocks footy on Melbourne's 105.1.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for IGA Liquor. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Three-quarter time here at GMHBA. I'm not going out on a limb by saying this one, she's done and dusted, but tune in anyway because you'll get some entertainment and Bomber fans will be happy. It was square at quarter time. Essendon by 34 at the half. She's a 60-point margin, and the Essendon Footy Club have kicked 9 of the last 10 of this game to lead it by 60 points. Bob Jane, buy 3, get 1 free instant cash back on Bridgestone, Continental, Pirelli and many more. BobJane.com.au. Mickey,
Howie, I thought the Cougars was a bourbon bar. And they need a few, I reckon, Gold Coast, because they are 10 goals down now. They need a few bourbons because I'm telling you, it's just lacklustre. There's no zip. There's nothing on their boundary, and they're getting a rev up right now. I can actually hear them. I can hear the coach just belting it out now. So they've got to show something. The curtain's just about to come down over here. There's big black clouds. The lights are on, and completely no wind now. It's gone, disappeared. So this is just up to skill and the players. No wind advantage whatsoever.
Well done, Robbo. You've also got the Chew Man with the Triple M Red Z Lenders, Red Z Lending Loans for the self-employed. What do you got for us, big boy?
Well, Stringer, number 1 ranked player on the ground today, 14 disposals, 3 centre clearances, 4 majors, and throwing 9 score involvements, Howie.
Very nice. Now you got Ross and Duck on a Sunday, which is a treat for anyone that's listening on the wireless.
Well, I just think it's Essendon delivered on everything what we've come to love them this year. Explosive out of the middle, Stringer, run from behind a hide, chain handballs through the midfield, and the ability to just go in and take ground and contest and crumb and score. But what they've done today, they've defended a hell of a lot better. And Gold Coast are bordering on spiritless in that quarter. I expect them to respond.
Nath's going to call this one for us. We've just been talking about the Gold Coast. 173 games for David Swallow. Chew Man, if you could get his win-loss percentage to us, I feel for fellas like him that are heart and soul and they just don't get any love, any joy or any victories.
Ream just got a free kick on cue.
Archie Plummer install the Ream, steady, hot and strong, Duck.
26% is his win-loss record.
Same as a club.
Yep.
It's funny that.
But he did miss sort of 2 years.
Considering he plays,
it'd probably be
Very good,
lower.
Howie.
Considering he plays for him.
But he missed 2 years, Nate, so that could skew the numbers.
Yep.
So Guelphy back inside forward 50, a bouncing ball, and I think it's hasn't bounced.
And in saying that, they've got a good home ground advantage when they're up there because it gets humid and dewy. You get there and you're really worried when you're coaching. It's really difficult. But so it's not like they're not without advantage up there.
Choice Hotels around the grounds, Chewy, the Derby 53.
Dockers by 4 points over the Eagles, almost halfway into the first quarter.
How many's David Mundy had, Ash?
Yeah, David Mundy for Triple M Red Z Brownie. Let me do a deep dive very shortly on that. Come back to you. 4 touches.
4, and a live latitude because it's all important now, this game. And if Essendon get a win and West Coast have a loss, holy moly, Chewy.
Yeah, there are ramifications for several teams if the Eagles lose. Bombers currently in 8th position on the live ladder because Freo are leading the Eagles as we speak.
There you go. Redmond loops it. This could get really ugly this term. Francis, they drive it forward. If the Bombers can kick straight, it could get big. Stringer 5. Put that in your book. Jakey Stringer's got 5 and there's still a quarter to go. He could really open up the bag and fill it right up.
Well, he should have 7.
90 to 24, yes.
He should have 7. As you said, he's 9 score assists. I reckon he's given off 3 inside the forward 50. Look. But they're doing it easy, doing it on the bet. He hasn't got any perspiration on him, Jakey. I know we're just after half time. There's not too many scratches and blood pouring out anywhere, is there? They're doing it on the bet.
Once again, that long kick to Peter Wright. Big fella drops right at his feet. Stringer knows that. And in the right spot. Classy finish on the left foot.
Well, I'm not sure you can get this statue, but like your ground ball in your forward 50, you're normally in the negative to the opposition, but gee, I'd be interested to see what the figure is here. Ground ball, Essendon forward 50 versus Gold Coast D 50, because that's just an indicator of work rate and getting back and helping your defence.
And looking at the Harvey Norman, I actually reckon Wright actually half-tapped that to Stringer.
66-point lead to the Bombers. Stringer has 5. Rowell in the middle. Goes one way then the other and was elusive. He ended up leaving his player behind, which was Parrish, and the umpires picked out a free kick. I think the free kick will go to King, 45 out, directly in front. Been very quiet, King. Laverde's had his number today.
Yes, Brownie King. He was been goalless the last 2 weeks, and today scoreless. 4 possessions, hasn't hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, needs to hit one here for his confidence. They haven't scored a goal since Fiorini kicked one late in the second term. So King, that's going to be wide left and out of bounds on the full.
What are the names on the back of the Gold Coast?
I presume it's members, Duck. I've been looking at that all afternoon. We really should know. I presume it's members, but that is a stab in the dark.
So, Chu, you got those ground ball numbers?
Yeah, it's 13-6, but when you look at the loose ball, Ross, 9-2 the Bombers' way. That's inside.
So plus advantage.
Yep.
That's on. If you level it, you're in good shape.
Yep.
So that tells me about the work rate and desire to get back and help.
What 22 members get their name on the back?
Well, that's a guess. I don't quite know.
They can't change it every week.
No.
So 13-6 in Essendon's favour, Ash.
Yeah, spot on.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's frightening.
Francis Marks, centre wing. Just looks like another goal coming the way. Stringer just waltzes down a half forward, dishes it off to Clark. He goes inboard to Snelling. Little sliding ball. This time Gold Coast get a possession in it. Can they run it out? No, they've given it straight to Perkins. He goes back and forth. There's Essendon players queuing up everywhere inside 50. And this time it's Clark. He's the lucky man. And as I said in the call, it just looked like a goal was coming.
Well, we got a drill from the wing. We got a drill from lead shooter comes from the counter. They call it quick goals, right? So you do 9v18. So you can go as quick as you can. Free players everywhere. It looked like a quick drill. Quick goals drill, circle work.
Didn't it?
No one's laid a glove on them here. This is incredible.
So Dylan,
3 forward players inside forward 50. Sorry.
No, you're
Sorry,
right.
Howie. Just frustrating to watch.
Dylan Clark from Rowville lining up for his 6th career goal. The way it's going, he'll kick it, and he does. So that is now 5 in a row and 10 of the last 11 as we're out to a game-high 72 points on the Triple M IJ Liquor scoreboard. IJ Liquor, proudly local, proudly independent. Chewy, just a bit of interest in Derby 53, which is where we're going next, and he's probably going to hold a bit more interest in this game. The West Coast back half of the season, they've copped some big buildings, haven't they? Because they were going pretty well at one point.
Yeah, they certainly have. I mean, they've won 2 out of their last 7 coming into today's game. They've been belted by the Bulldogs by 55 points back in round 15, 92 by the Swans at this venue here, GMHBA, and lost to the Magpies.
Looks like we're
at
watching
the G by 45.
Looks like we're watching the game. We've got that game on in the background in a different country, given the full stadium.
Yes.
It's good to see, Duck.
It is.
Good to see.
It's great.
We can only hope. Clark, his third game this year, came in, hadn't played a game all year up until obviously a couple ago, Ross, but how have you seen his inclusion?
Yeah, I like it. He brings great run, and he gives you that flexibility. If someone gets away to you, you can put him to that player. So I think he's a great inclusion. He's getting the best out of what he's got. I think that's the measure, what Rutten's doing.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. That man again, Clark, into the option. Got it out towards player who fell over. And that was Perkins. The umpire said you ducked, and we got a free kick to Lukosius around the back. And short little ball. And mark taken by McPherson.
So there'll be some criticism of Stewie Dewar here, but I think it comes back to the individual players and the heat on them, not the coach. This isn't coach-driven. This is player effort-driven.
So you think it's effort rather than talent?
Well, you know what? It doesn't take much talent to chase and tackle and never give up. And I'm not seeing the level of effort that's required to be a competitive AFL team. And that scoreboard, you called it, Howie. You called what you saw. What did you call?
Just no pressure like a training drill.
Yeah.
And, it's 72 points at the moment, but it wouldn't surprise you if it got out to 100. Hopefully it doesn't for the Suns.
That inconsistent effort. We saw this team beat Carlton a couple of weeks ago, the Suns.
Yep.
And they've had 27 tackles, Howie. They average 64.
Okay. Not good signs. Just seeing Stewie Dew on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay looking a little bit despondent by a selected laundry package at Harvey Norman and get a bonus gift card as the ball goes out of bounds on the outer side. Round the grounds, Choice Hotels, Chewy. Nice little gap for the Fremantle side.
The Dockers out to an 11-point lead over the Eagles halfway into the first quarter.
So look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay screen. Ben Rutten looking very comfortable on the phone in the bench, just sitting next to Daniel G and Siracusa, one of the better looking men in the world. Very small teeth though.
Or was that Blake Caricella? Oh, that was Daniel, was it? That was
Caricella was there as well. Yeah. G on the other side as they go inside forward 50. Two Suns spoil each other. Put Cullens under pressure. Put the handball out. The coach said how clean he was from ground level. That's a nice kick out to McPherson.
Macca has it on the outer side, the number 44. Macca, that's what his mates call him. Oh, Darcy McPherson, he's a Diamond Creek boy, Nath.
Dimo.
Yep, that's him, Creaky. Measures the ball down the wing, and he hits sharp. It's Jeremy. Bob Jane, Mickey R.
Yeah, it's going to be a med sub, and Lemons hasn't made it. Soured right up, Howie. No. And they're putting ice on that corky. So Rory Atkins gets his go, the number 2. So he's been warming up for a little while. So Lemons out of the contest with ice, and Atkins in.
Okay, Lemons on ice. There you go. 96 to 24. That's why we've got to real poor puns, because that's what this game's giving us.
Real twist in the plot, isn't it?
Yeah. That's it, Nate. And Ross says Lemons is squeezed out of the game. That's it. I can't give you nothing more.
Don't shut down on us, how we
the Gold Coast go across the line. Well, it's hard not to at the moment. It's not the most entertaining game, but we'll try and keep it up for you, because after this, we'll take you to the Derby 53. Cometti, Embley, Ellis, Armstrong, the beast Mark Cometti. And it's a 12-point lead to the Dockers at the moment, deep in the first term.
How long since their last goal, Ash, the Gold Coast Suns?
Triple M Red Z, Brownie. That came at the 24-minute mark in the second quarter, Fiorini.
So 45 minutes of game time since then. McGrath, good to see him back. Right foot towards centre wing. Ill-directed, though. Coming out was Ballard. Fisted away well. Waterman lays the big tackle. He's like a big hippopotamus sitting on you. He's a big boy.
Who's the hippopotamus?
Waterman. He is a big unit.
Okay. Most dangerous animal in Africa, the hippo. Kills more people annually more than the lion.
You don't want to go down the Nile on one of those flimsy boats.
No, you do
tip
not.
you over, you're in trouble.
And old Zambezi. Punch a real hole in you, the big hippo.
Mosquito beats them all, Howie.
There you go. Duck coming in with the mosquito call.
Probably not as gruesome a death, though, is it?
I don't think malaria's that flash.
Just a bit quick with the hippo.
He probably would know a great deal. There's big tusks got in your guts. But anyway, we should really talk about the footy.
What's happening? More the lions and tigers, does it?
There's no tigers in Africa, Nathan. They're more Indian operator. But stringer marks on 50. There's a couple in the zoo, Nath, but again, this just shows that you're a Ballarat Bendigo bogan that has never left his own postcode. As Redmond slides one inside 50. Then he hits old mate Sammy Durham, who kicked his first goal today and might kick his second. Just no Lions in Africa. No Tigers. Anyway, Durham will line up.
One of the great experiences you can have, Harry, isn't it?
Safari, yeah, it is.
One in Botswana was incredible.
Oh, did you go down the Okavango Delta?
Yes.
There you go.
Good one out at Werribee too.
Yep, there you go. You might see a couple of lions down there. And a couple of tigers down there.
You do spoil your kids, man.
Durham for his second career goal, bangs it into the post. And it is 97 playing 24 now the way of the Bombers. You got 12 to go. And here is Mr. International himself, Nathan Brown.
So Lukosius. And this is the one, Brownie, Lukosius. Watch this. Now, what's he going to do? Is he going to go a bit longer? There you go. This one's to a contest. They don't always have to do this, and that's right to the biggest man on the ground, but at least they get the ball out of the danger zone just by going long rather than short into the pocket.
Sharp McPherson, then it was a little bit hurried for Ainsworth, who ran over the footy. Opportunity for Hines, sock it off the ground. Rowell. Numbers for Rowell, Ash. He's going to be better, as we know, next year.
Matty Rowell, 13 disposals, Brown. He's averaging 14 this year.
Thanks, Peter. Chris.
And that was a better passage of play for the Gold Coast. Like getting after and pressuring and getting a restart.
So a boundary throw in on centre wing. Stewart holding down the centre half back, full back. Spot at the moment for the Bombers and doing it quite nicely. Spinning out of trouble was Anderson. Tumbling ball inside forward 50. Corbett was chasing after it. That man Stewart overran it. Opportunity for Townsend. He's been on the angry pills today. He's going to get a free kick. There's a bit of a giggle about it. Redmond not happy. Bit of a push and shove on McPherson. Got a couple of angry units out there. You got Nick Hine. You got Redmond. Devon Smith.
Up and down.
The short fuses.
This man's quite punchy as well.
Yeah, he was very unhappy in the third quarter. Townsend.
He's a very good set shot.
28-11 from set shots, Duck.
How long since their last goal, Chewy?
Yeah, that was deep into the second quarter. It's been 47 minutes, in fact, 47, 48 seconds.
There you go.
Townsend.
Chewy, what a guru.
Former premiership player. And it just squeezes back in for a goal. So well done to Townsend. And they get their first in a long time. 30 plays, 97. Triple MIJ, like a scoreboard. Proudly local, proudly independent.
Well, squeezed back through the middle of the goals, that one, Brownie.
Oh, have a look at Duck.
Beautiful kick.
It started left, Duck.
We are training off here. You mentioned it earlier on, Nath. We've just seen Nick Naitanui kick a goal and Liam Ryan kick a goal. So Choice Hotels around the grounds.
It's the Dockers by 12 points over the Eagles.
It's like a different planet in the West at the moment. There is a massive crowd in there.
Yeah, I said that about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
It looks good, doesn't it?
It looks fantastic.
Alluring.
And hopefully the East Coast can get to that sooner rather than later, safely and carefully, and hopefully the East Coast and West Coast can continue to keep going that way.
Well, I think it decides the grand final discussion. We're sitting here,
correct.
What's going on? It's
good weather.
No question.
No, you're spot on, Ross. McDonald's, Marine Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. It's obviously a very changeable environment. And good luck to everyone in the West. I hope they're enjoying their situation. As the Bombers bring it out of the middle. There's still 10:45 to go in this one, which is good news. As Perkins is caught with the footy. What else have you got, Chewy, on the Reds Head Lenders?
Darcy Parish has had a great year, hasn't he? 40-plus disposals 3 times this year, leading ball winner with 31 and 6 clearances.
How many has Took Miller got?
Took Miller for Reds Head, 28, leading ball winner for the Suns.
Another big day for Took. He must be that far in front in their BNF, Nate. It's not funny.
He'd be smashing them, Howard. Had a wonderful season as Ridley picked it up. He's been good. Stepped in and out. Merritt did well. Lost a tackler. Then fed it to Snelling and wanted it back. He wanted the 1-2. It was brilliant. He got it. Left foot into the middle. The kick is a bit dangerous, but Hine runs onto it, sockers it out in front of himself, goes back after it. He was met hard by Bowes, went back in, handballed it back, Sharp. Now the Suns clear, wide towards centre wing, and a good mark by Sexton above his head. He had Redmond coming hard at him, and they talked a bit of trash to each other, but that was a fine mark by Sexton.
Who sends a long ball down towards the half-forward line. Or getting a shove there was a Sun, but the umpire said, no, that's okay. Merritt taps it back cleverly, only as far as Anderson. McPherson centering ball. Here's a chance for the Suns. but it's fisted across the line by a couple of the big Essendon defenders. Choice Hotels round the ground. Just look like it's getting a bit punchy over there in the West, Chewy.
It is, and Freo, they're 6-2-38, leading the Eagles by 18 points, 3-2-20. Still 3 minutes to go before quarter time.
What, they'll kick it style?
No, not that punchy, just pushy and shovey.
Yeah. All right, Robbo, boundary.
Just a little sprinkle, big cloud coming over the top, so just a little sprinkle coming from the coast, that's all.
Good update, Robbo. Bob Jane T-Marts. Buy 3, get 1 free. Instant cash back on Bridgestone, Continental, Pirelli and many more. BobJane.com.au.
McDonald's and Remont Water, Triple M rocking the footy.
Proudly local, proudly independent at IJ Liquor. Ross, what are you going to get on the way home?
No, just a bottle of sparkling mineral water.
You're off, you know.
No, discipline. Okay. Discipline over indulgence. You're either getting closer to your goal or further away.
Ball into the middle, Devon Smith. That's a Rossism, I love it.
I cracked last week on the way home, Rossi. I'm a disciplined man, but I cracked.
Now get into...
We're getting a bottle of St Hugo on the way home.
Oh, I can't. I bought a small bottle of Bailey's on the way home. And the way I was going, I started thinking about swigging it on the drive home. But I didn't, because that would be illegal. But, gee. That's where we're at.
It would be, yes, if you had too much.
So, obviously, it's not what I did, but I waited until I got home.
Parrish into the pocket. Right. Hasn't kicked the 7 today. Hasn't been a factor, but the Bombers doing it comfortably as Fiorini clears the area only as far as Merritt. Merritt from 55 lowers the eyes into the pocket, and the mark taken by Devon Smith.
Oh, beautiful vision by Merritt, wasn't it? There was probably, we'll count them up, there was about 14 Gold Coast players there defending the back 50, and he just picked out the free player.
Had a bit of the ball in this last quarter, Merritt, Junior.
Yeah, spot on, Doug. Triple M Red Z. Zach Merritt, he's had 6 disposals.
Devon Smith looking around like he was looking to pass. We know that's not true, Devon. He's kicked the goal right on the 3/4 time siren. That won't be a goal. Across the face, through for 1 behind.
Another goal for Freo on the round the grounds Choice Hotel style, Chewy.
Spot on, Howie. They're out to a 24-point lead, 7-2-44.
Wow.
To the Eagles, 3-2-22 to go before quarter time.
Oh, it was kicked by the sergeant. Oh, Schultze, that one. Did you coach him?
For 1 year, Howie.
I like watching him play, Ross.
Yeah, no, you covered that the other week. He's certainly getting the best out of himself. A real bald man, the old-fashioned operator.
Yeah.
Howie brings his black boots and mouth guard, and in he goes.
Bit of a heart and soul as the ball goes to centre wing.
Up from around a Chuka area, I think.
Is he, old Schultze?
It's a big first quarter from the Dockers, 7 goals.
Well, it gives him a chance, doesn't it? Look, get West Coast on the back foot.
Seen him a chance.
We'll go to that game next with Cometti, Reid, Embley and all the big guns over there. That's a good mark by Ridley. Another very fine season with this man, Jordan Ridley. He goes to Cutler.
He's a big kick.
Actually played a lot of junior football with Ollie Wines.
Ridley, did he? Or Schultze?
Little Schultze was rated a better player than him.
Was he?
According to Brink Guerra, one of your Hawthorn men.
Okay. He's the man that changed the rush behind rule in the grand final of 2008, did be Guerra. And Collins again marks in front of Waterman. He's had a good day, Duck. He's a good try, this man. A very good player, in fact.
He is. And you know what you're going to get, don't you? Yep. Every week as it goes. Started on right and did a pretty good job on him.
Ball at ground level. Ainsworth was good. Tackle from behind by Parrish, but they were able to get the handball out to Fiorini. Another one back to Ainsworth. He's crushed to the ground by Laverde, and he'll get a free kick for pushing the back. Triple M, Harvey Norman replay. Bombers, Adrian Dodoro, was it?
Yep. Correct. Admiring his handiwork with that draft.
He's
Perkins.
A couple of good drafts now. Done very well over the last few years. Inside forward 50. One of those ground level players was McPherson to the top of the square, and the ball will roll out of bounds. 68-point margin, 98 plays 30. 5 minutes 51 to go before this one hangs up.
It's been 2-1 the way the Bombers this term. Townsend with the last for the Suns. It was square at quarter time. Surprisingly, Essendon by 34 at half time, 60 at 3/4 time. And currently the margin is 68 points. The Bombers to the good. And it looks like Freo are lining up for another one around the grounds, Ducky boy.
Yep, they certainly are. So they've 7-2-44 to 3-2-20. So lining up to make that a 30-point margin.
And Taverner looking for his third for the term. This is legendary stuff in a derby. You kick 3 in a term, Ross, you get a big bag.
8 goal first quarter, massive. Is it the Dockers home derby, is it, or the West Coast?
Yeah,
right. So the crowd be roaring. They are passionate.
They are, and Taverner's got 3. It's the most goals ever kicked in a derby, Chewy. It's a tough one, probably late in the day. I mean, tell me you don't want to answer that if you wish.
Some good feedback on Twitter from Jared Walsh. He's ticked. He's got 13,000 followers, Harry. I'll get back to it, though.
Oh, no, if it's positive, get it out now.
I listen to Triple M Footy Friday Huddle, Saturday Rub and Sunday Rub via podcast every week. This is the first year in a long time I can say Friday Huddle is the best. Nathan Brown and Mark Howard especially, and then goes on to agree they're outstanding. The addition of Bernie to Saturday and Ross to Sunday has been brilliant. The Ross highlights out of the other two. I love Brownie and his humour. And Howie is a world-class host. No mention of Duck in here.
Keep reading it out, though.
And it comes to an end.
That's a shame. Cutler marks.
It's a big pump up for me, you and Ross.
I liked it.
Obviously a busy man. He only does this on the footy on the weekend.
Good on him. The podcast
we love it.
On the listener app, you can hear
it. Podcast, yeah, right.
That's record numbers this year. 98-30 is the lead for the Bombers.
Jared Walsh, he's got 13.8k followers. That's a lot. He lives in Adelaide.
Good on you, Walsh.
He's a communicator, an MC.
He's heavily involved in all sorts of sports over there, Walsh.
At Jared Walsh MC, does some MC work, so let's hope he can get him some work.
Okay, well, we'll give him a pump up. Get older, Walshy. Sexton drives the ball down the line. A bit of space here for King, who's had a very quiet afternoon. Just tapped away from him. And now Hind squeezes the ball back. They made it a tough one for Redmond. And now puts it to the outer side. And the Bombers might get out of this. Through Durham. Now Dylan Shield has found his way back in this side, playing good footy. Wow, she's open now. Heppel splits it to the outer side. Bombers are toying with him at the moment. In the hands of Parrish, Red's edge too.
Yeah, disposal number 35. And Scotty Cummings, 10 majors. That's the record in the derby.
The big man.
Yep, back in 2000.
Jeez, he could play. Parrish bangs it forward. Where's Stringer? He's not in this contest. Fisted away from Smith. The Gold Coast trying to round defence. No real opportunity to get rid of it. Bob Jane, Mickey R.
Jack Bowes left hamstring very tight. I don't think he'll get back on the ground. They don't want to risk him. He's been stretching it. He's had work done on it now. So I reckon he's done for the afternoon.
Robbo doing a great job on the boundary as always. The ball up. Swallow got the handball out. The run and carry from the Rat Atkins. Come on as the sub. McPherson fended off Durham. Little chip around the corner. And he finds Atkins. So down to 3 minutes to go. 68-point lead to the Bombers. Stringer has been brilliant today. He's kicked 5. Parrish with a lazy 35. So Ross will be just looking at the votes at the moment, figuring out. Merritt's had 30. Nick Hine, 28. Redman, 26. So the ball down towards half forward. Sexton takes on Heppel. Took him on really well. 1 bounce. 2 bounces. Gets to 50. Centres the footy. But only as far as Nick Hine.
He's been good, Noodles, your man Hind.
29 disposed for Hind.
Very good afternoon.
Recruit of the year.
Kicked a goal. So the Bombers chew on the live ladder. What's happening with West Coast copying and pasting at the moment? They are down by 30 points at quarter time. Freo 50-20 at quarter time.
Unbelievable. The Fremantle, as we know, not a high-scoring team. So we look at the live ladder. It's the Bombers. They're sitting 8th. So that's a great result if Freo were to defeat the Eagles, because they will remain there come completion.
What does it do for Freo?
And Fremantle, well, they'll be outside the 8 on percentage, so obviously very handy for them. They play St Kilda next week.
I think we might be going early crow.
Yeah.
How many quarters in are they?
Sorry, only 1 quarter, but and their percentage is poor as well, the Dockers.
The Suns move forward. Joel Jeffrey, the man that has real cult hero potential. He kicked the opening goal for the Suns. Marks in the pocket. We'd like to see him kick it. Like everything about this man. He's going to have to snap it around the body on the left, or go right foot check side. Doesn't get the right part of the football though, and unfortunately it goes across the face and out on the 4. Who do Essendon play next week? The arch rivals.
Collingwood.
Ooh, that's a game and a half.
Minute 21 to go. Redmond in the back pocket. He'll go along with a strong one. The Flyers are out there. Coming in from the side was Swallow. Smith read it off hands. Got it to Atkins. His left foot goes long to the top of the square. Ridley, that's a brilliant mark. One-on-one, as good as you see, up against Jeffrey. It just stuck.
There'd be an exciting team to see play finals, Essendon, Ross.
Look, you know what's fascinating? He came in as a defensive coach and Richmond's pressure and that. They're 17th defence, but I think they're number one attack, basically, aren't they? Like, they're the top four, definitely. So he's brought a different signal. I think Blake Carousella's got a big to do that. He brought Richmond's ball movement to life, and he's significant over at Essendon. So all credit to them. I think they've got a club that's finally starting to heal, got clear air from the past and excitement for their fans that have stuck with them for a long time.
Stringer shoves off an opponent, tries to get it down towards Peter Wright, who's been quiet after his 7 last week. Chewy on the Reds' edge.
Yeah, he has, Howie, 8 possessions, just the one behind.
Miller had another good afternoon as Miller, 29th disposal. The Suns move it down the outer side, but the Bombers got the answers. Redmond immediately plays on. Closing moments of this match. Merritt will probably have the last kick. He squeezes the ball forward towards Wright, gets over the back. Stringer running out of time. Siren, the Bombers by 68 points over the Gold Coast Suns. And at this very moment, Essendon are in the top 8.
See the Bombers fly up to win the premiership flag. Our boys who play this grand old game are always striving for glory and fame. See the Bombers fly up.
Well done to the Bombers. Square at quarter time. Essendon by 34 at half time. 60 at three-quarter time. In the end, they win it by 68 points. Jakey Stringer kicks 5. And it is time now to move on to the Triple M Amy review. Amy, who covers clangers? Amy does. Lucky you're with Angie. Amy from McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy. Of course, it's Macca's 50th birthday, so try one of their classic double burgers today. Now, we are shortly going to go for the second term of the West Coast versus Fremantle game, where Fremantle have scored 50 points in the first term compared to West Coast's 20 to lead it by 30 points at quarter time. Time now, though, for the Triple M MVP award for Mongrel Boots. Mongrel Boots, comfy boots built for long days on site. Ollie Wines was leading Walsh 30 to 27, then Oliver and the Bont on 25. All right, Rossi, it's you tonight.
Yeah, but the one Hind, I think you called him, and Brownie called him. He was electric right from the get-go. Run and bounce through the corridor. He's aggressive tackle. He got back. He supported his defence. I just thought he was everywhere, so I've given him one vote. I don't have to go through his numbers. I thought he had big impact on the game. I thought Parrish, his sharp hands, his accumulation, his run, his spread, his passing of the ball, setting him up, squaring him in the corridor, giving him 2 votes. He's high 30 disposals. And our man, Jakey Stringer, I thought 5 goals, just explosive, given way too much latitude. But you know what? They gave him enough rope and he hung them. So I just thought he was selfless. I think he had something like 12 score involvements, and most of them were on entry into the forward 50. He just, even at the end there, he could have blazed away and been selfish, but he handballed over the top and the siren went. So I thought he's the most impactful player on the ground, Jakey Stringer, and I think that's probably 9 out of 10 weeks now. So he's just been outstanding, and all credit to the Bombers.
Love it, Rossi. So Jake Stringer gets the Triple M MVP award for Mongrel Boots. Mongrel Boots, comfy boots built for long days on site. Bombers have got the job done over the Suns by 68 points. Thanks to everybody involved in today's broadcast. Hope it put a smile on your dial. Time now to go to Western Derby 53, Lockie Reed, Dennis Cometti, and it is